Baruchim Abayim, peace and blessings to you. Yes, welcome to each and every one of you, my family. Yes, I'm Melchi Uriel, I'm your Moreh for this channel, and yes, you are here, right place, right time. Shabbat Shalom to each and every one of you. This is the day that the Most High has made, and we are rejoicing in it. We are happy in it. We're glad. Excuse the echo, but we have that off now. So hey, peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Again, Baruch Habayim and Baruchim Abayim to each and every one of you. Welcome. Want to let you know that this, of course, is going to be another wonderful Torah portion where we begin to discuss the birthing of a nation. We will look at the Exodus and we will discover how the nation of Israel was born, yes, even out of their Exodus, out of Mitzrayim. So, hey, we want you to stay tuned, get your pads, your papers, get your coffee. This is Shabbat Morning Coffee with me, your Moreh, Melchi Uriel, and yes, we're going to have a good time. We're going to discuss, and if you want, you can even give us a call and chime in, and your views and your opinions, even questions, will be welcome. We'll be right back. Peace and blessings.
Melchi Uriel. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down, to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant.
Well, peace and blessings to you, my brothers and sisters. Hey, I greet you in the name of the Most High. I greet you in the name of Elohim, Yah, Yah'ol, Yah Sabaoth. I greet you in the name of the Most High, who created the heavens and the earth and all that therein is. We acknowledge that He and He alone is the supreme creator of all. There is no other Elohim like unto Him. There is no other God to be served, no other God to be worshipped save Him, for He alone is our salvation. He alone is our strength. He alone is our righteousness. We stand upon the covenant and the words that He has given unto us, that has been handed down to us in the corpus of material that we embrace and have called the Tanakh. This was handed down to our forefathers from the Mount of Horeb, and then given to the elders, and from the elders to each and every individual family. And so we do embrace the Tanakh as being the word of the Most High. Many people have scriptures, but we embrace the words of the Most High. Scriptures are anything that anyone deems to be inspired. You can look at a magazine and call it inspired. It will then be raised to the level of scripture. But we do not just read scripture, we read the word of the Most High. This is a difference, this is a significant difference, and it causes us to be a set apart people, because we stand upon the foundation of the Torah, HaNavi'im and HaKetuvim, that has been compiled together, and we know it to be the Tanakh, the T sound being that of the Torah, which is the first 5 books, as have been by tradition ascribed to Moshe, And also there is documented proof in Deuteronomy 31:9 that Moshe did indeed write, though I am of the mythicist camp that says that there was a real individual by the name of Moshe, but throughout the years, individuals have added to the writings in a way that expanded the writings, but yet Moshe did write. I will not give comment on Moshe at this particular point, but I will continue to let you know that we stand upon the writings of the Torah that has been handed down to us by tradition from the hands of Moshe. And of course, we do stand upon the words of the Navi'im, who are the prophets who have spoken in line and in light of and upon the foundation of the Torah itself, and has so demonstrated it in reality and in incidents and dealing with people, kings, and situations. And so what we find being taught in the Torah is in the Nevi'im and the Ketuvim being demonstrated in action. You don't need a New Testament, a King James New Testament. You don't need that. You have the Nevi'im and you have the Ketuvim to be the demonstration of what was taught in the Torah. Well, with that being the case, the Nevi'im are the writings and the words of the prophets, and the Ketuvim we find to be the Psalms, the Proverbs, even the book of Daniel because of its late derivation. And of course, we find in the book of Daniel there being many Zoroastrian influences, and that we see that there is a high level of duality in the book of Daniel, and it causes us to look at it and say, no wonder it is in the Ketuvim rather than the prophets, because of such influences. Well, with that being the case, we stand upon the foundation of the word of the Most High that is found in the Tanakh, and we also serve you notice that we are not of those that embrace the Roman, Greco-Roman, Hellenistic Christian New Testament. No, we find it very suspect that the very ones who were responsible for the national freedom fighter, Yeshua ben Yosef, I know some say that he did not exist. Because of certain writings in the Talmud, we would say that there's no problem in expressing his existence. However, again, being of the mythicist camp, I find it that yes, there may have been a real freedom fighter who had liberators with him, such as Judas Iscariot, who is called Iscariot because he had a weapon on his side, a weapon of execution. These were nationalistic kind of individuals, okay, militant, okay. We would call them a part of a militia. Yes, you would. Back in Jesus's day, this is exactly who they were. And there is ample proof in the writings of the Christian New Testament that would substantiate Yeshua ben Yosef being a liberator, a freedom fighter that thought that he was going to be the one. Just as those, others also thought that, in 70 AD, the inhabitants of Qumran, the priest and those who were akin to the priest and joined together with them and their families and their friends, they thought that they were going to be the ones to bring about liberation. They were going to revive the days of the Maccabees, and so we see that Rome wiped them out, and they weren't the ones either. This is something that's only going to be done by the hand of the Most High, as has been alluded to in the book of Daniel, the stone that was hewn out of the mountain. Yes, that stone that was hewn out of the mountain did indeed smash the idol which represented all the nations, and so we find that this is something that the Most High is going to do. Now, we have to walk lightly with this because we understand that when the Most High moves, he does. When his hand moves, his hand does wear a human glove. However, let us not forget that the first son of the Most High is Israel, which we're going to tap into, and we're going to actually see, if you want to say it, if you want to call it, if you want to say that this is the birth of the firstborn, or if you want to say this is the birth of a nation, then you may do so, because this is our Torah portion for today. Greeting you, each and every one of you. You know that we stand upon the Tanakh. You know that we are Yah only. You know that we are Yah only and Tanakh only. The only time that I personally use the Christian New Testament is when I'm showing that even in the Christian New Testament, it substantiates that we are right and that we are correct as we stand as Tanakh only and Yah only. Okay? So with that being the case, I want to let you know that we do have a covenant that we stand by, that we walk on that foundation. We live on that foundation, and it is something that we abide by. And we don't care who you are, but if you are one who wants to walk in the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, you are welcome on this channel. If you love the Most High and will walk according to his laws, statutes, and commandments, respect the room, respect the mic, hey, we have no problems with you being here. With that being the case, if you want to walk with us, you're going to have to walk the covenant, and a great example is found in these 10 declarations that have been very famously put abroad as the 10 commandments rather than the 10 declarations or the 10 sayings. We say that we will not have any other Elohim. We will not worship any other Elohim. We will not have any other Elohim but our one true Elohim. We will bow down to no other. We also will not make any object, whether it be of wood, of stone, or even of our own imaginations. We will not create anything to bow down to. We will not imagine that a man has been exalted to the position of a God or the God himself, and that the Most High does indeed embrace human sacrifices, the eating of human flesh and the drinking of human blood. We reject that in its entirety, and we also will not take the name, the presence, nor the character of the Most High in vain. And we also remember even this day to keep this day holy by doing no work during daylight hours. We do no work during these daylight hours as the active Shabbaton within the Shabbat. For within every Shabbat, there is a special thing that is to be done. And in this, we are to remain free of work and servile labor and task, remain free of this on this day. This is the 7th day. And on this day, we abide with the Most High. Also, we do remember to honor our mothers and our fathers. We honor them that our days may be long upon the earth. We stand upon their shoulders, for we are their progeny, and they have gone before us. We would not be who we are if it weren't for them. And so we honor our ancestors. We honor our forefathers. Our Elohim is even noted to be called the God of Abraham, the God of Yitzhak, and the God of Yaakov. And so we honor our ancestors, even as we acknowledge the Most High under those names. Also, we will not shed innocent blood, which is called murder, and we will not commit adultery. We have no need of taking anyone's mate, anyone's wife or husband. Why? Because the Most High has our blessings for us. We do not steal, for the Most High, again, has blessings for us. Our blessings hunt us down, according to Deuteronomy 28, where we keep the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. Also, we will not be a false witness in any matter of judgment. And not only that, but we will not covet and lust after and try to get something that someone else has, because we know beyond the shadow of a doubt that the Most High already has blessings for us that are seeking us out. With that being the case, we absolutely would love for you to walk along with us as we walk along this path of truth. I would say that not only do we love the word of the Most High, but we also love prayer, and we love to give him praise. We love to pray before him, but we do it in a slightly different way. Before we pray, we take inventory and we say of ourselves, have I purposely set out to disobey the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High? Did I make it my purpose? Did I on purpose intend to break the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High? You see, this is the difference in the law of the Most High. As far as sacrifices are concerned, the sacrifices come for those things that were done unknowingly or unwittingly. And so with that being the case, we do say, well, there may be something that I have done that is not akin to the law, and so I may have broken it. And let me give you an example. It is written in the law that when you happen upon, let's say, a hen, and you need something to eat, the law allows you to take the hen, but it does not allow you to take the hen and the eggs. Okay, don't take them together. No, it has to be a separate action, because one, the Most High is looking out for the preservation of that species, but also two, it's making sure that we don't have a heart of annihilation where we just want to wipe something out completely. You completely wipe out the generation of that particular bird when you take it and its seed with it. So the Most High said, hey, I don't want you to do that. And so with that being the case, yes, we do not eat things that have chicken and eggs together. Okay? We have no problems eating meat with dairy. I know that's a Ashkenazi and Sephardim law, but we don't go that far, because that's not what's in the Tanakh. Okay? But it is in the Tanakh that you don't take the dam and the eggs. You don't take the adult bird along with the eggs. Okay? You don't do that. So could be that, you know what, man, hey, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to eat that chicken egg foo young. Well, okay, you may not have known that, but see, that is something that the Most High would look at and say, no, that practice would wipe out a species. We're not for that. We don't do that. Okay? Which is why we don't eat fish and caviar together. Same principle, right? Same principle. So with that being the case, many would say, man, you know what? I don't know if I did. I don't know if I had chicken egg foo young, or even, if I had chicken fried rice, because, they put eggs in the rice. So, I mean, did I do that? I don't know if I did that. So if that's you, then we come before the Most High and say, you know what? I need mercy from the Most High, because there could be something that I did that I was not supposed to do. And for those of you that would say, this seemed crazy. You mean to tell me you gotta, you gotta watch what you eat? Yes, you have to watch what you eat. In every area of our lives, the Most High uses it as a point of sanctification and holiness. This is where the Most High shows up in every area of your life. In your eating, there's a part of your eating and your diet that should represent the Most High. And that's why we have the dietary laws. In your dressing, there's a part of your dressing, you're getting dressed every day, that should include the Most High, which is why we have the seat, okay? And there's a part of your finances. Again, we could go on and on. There's a part of your finances, a part of your time. That's what we're doing today. And so the Most High should show up in every facet of your life. There is something for the Most High in every area of your life. And if you're representing Him in those areas, then you get a high five from the Most High. But the thing about it is, many of us don't realize that it's not about praying some sinner's prayer down at an altar that gets you saved. No, this is a lifelong path of living in righteousness and holiness before Him. And this is what we have embarked upon. This is what we do gladly, out of a glad heart, with joy, for living righteousness. We don't mind. Well, with that being the case, could be something that we've done. With that being the case, we go before Him with mercy. So do inventory, whatever inventory you need. If you need to ask someone to forgive you or you forgive them, now is the time to do it before we go before the Most High. So we're going to give you just a second to make some preparations before we go before the Most High. Let us pray. Baruch atah Ya'o, Baruch atah b'Hashemayim, Baruch atah b'Haaretz, b'Kol ha'olam, Ki atah melech ha'olam. Blessed are you, Most High. Blessed are you, Yah, in the heavens and in the earth. Blessed are you in all the universe, for you are the King of the universe. And we would say before you that we are your children. Anaknu omerim lefnecha she, anaknu habenim sheli, hayeladim shelech. We are your children. We are your people. We are your covenant walking people. And we stand because of the covenant. The begalal, the covenant that we stand before you. Begalal halberit, she'anaknu amdim lifnecha. We stand before you, Most High, because of the covenant and in the covenant. And it is through the covenant what you've sworn to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You've sworn unto them a covenant, and you stand upon that covenant. And we even read today where you operated out of that covenant to bring about salvation and prosperity and unity unto your people. And we ask for that again. And again, it must be by means of the covenant and not by anything else, but by your word that you have spoken unto Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov. And we stand thereupon. We declare and decree that we are your children, that we are your covenant people. We are the nation of Israel. And so we look for your divine intervention. We look for your divine help, your assistance. We look for your salvation to save us out of our given situations, our situations of lack, situations of hunger, situations of need, situations whereby we need health and healing. You are our salvation, and we claim your salvation. Because of covenant, we claim physical healing and salvation for our beloved elder, Leonin Croning. We also claim physical healing for her, rejuvenation for her, because of your covenant. We claim strength and awareness, keenness of mind and heart and eyesight and hearing, and all physical abilities. We claim healing for her by means of the covenant, by means of your word. And we also claim the same for our brother George Evans, our elder George Evans. We thank you for him, and for all those of this community that need it. We stand upon the covenant, and we ask for your blessings and for your healing and for your deliverance. We demand it as being members of this covenant. We demand it, and we stand upon it, and we allow the covenant to be the contract, the signed and sealed contract that connects you with us and us with you. And we thank you that while we do your will, we thank you that you work things out on our behalf, and we give you the praise, the glory, and the honor for that. We acknowledge you in all things. We thank you. We give praise unto you, Most High Elohim. We call you by your many names, by your many attributes, El Elyon. You are the Almighty El Shaddai. You are the Most High. You are Yah. You are our covenant God, our covenant deity. We acknowledge you in all of your supremacy, in all of your glory, in all of your might, in all of your power, in all of your righteousness, in all of your holiness, in all of your depth of wisdom. We acknowledge you and honor you. And we bow the knee before you. And we say that you and you alone are our Elohim, that we will serve all the days of our life. We give you praise. You have been our habitation throughout all generations, and it is in you that we exalt, in you that we exhort, in you that we raise our hands and we say hallelujah unto you. We give you all the praise, you all the glory. We give you the dedication of our hearts in your name and your name alone, Yah. Aman wa aman. All right. Well, peace and blessings to each and every one of you. We will be right back, and I want to give some shout outs because we've got family in the chat room. All right, we are back at you. And you know what? Hey, who was the first? Who was the first to turn the lights on here for Shabbat morning coffee? It was none other than my brother from another mother, Bergen Paris, in the house. He is our Minister of Safety and Security. I love this brother and his family, and I had a dream I was talking to him. Was it last night or the other night? I had a dream I was talking to you, bro. It was interesting. But hey, peace and blessings to you. Love you and your family. And of course, hey, guess who turned on the coffee pot this time? It was none other than Raymond Radcliffe. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. Glad that you are here. And let me continue. And our brother Adrian, our Minister of Economics, is here. Peace and blessings to you, my brother Adrian. Glad that you are here. Very glad that you're here. And glad to see ya. Let's see. Let's keep on scrolling. And we have my beloved sister here, Crystal Moody. Peace and blessings to you, Crystal Moody. Glad that you're here, my sister. Also, our beloved elder is here, Christine Croning. Peace and blessings to you. You know we love you, elder. Praying for you. And I think about you just so much. And I do pray that the Most High is performing his work on you. I just thank the Most High for you. Glad that you are here with us and always honored with your presence. As well, we have my brother Ben Naphtali. Peace and blessings to you, my brother Ben Naphtali. Who else? Who else up in here? Who else up in here? We have Michael Charles Marsh. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. Glad that you are here. I'm wondering what you eating for Shabbat dinner, man. I'm wondering what you eat. What did you? Has anyone recorded themselves preparing their food for Shabbat? Okay, I'm just going to encourage y'all. I'm going to encourage y'all to do that because we would love to show that for our segment. With that being the case, hey, when I get back, we are going to begin. We're going to begin. Yeah, we're going to begin we're going to begin our Torah portion for today, and it looks like I may have to do a couple of things slightly differently here, but hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into the Torah portion, and we will do that. You know what? We're just going to go ahead and do that right now. How about that? We're going to begin our Torah portion, and we're going to do so. And I just want to say that, you know, this Torah portion really does signify the beginning, or I should say the birth of a nation. I've often looked at the book of Exodus, and I've said to myself that, you know, the value in the book of Exodus and onward is really about nation building. And the way that we rebuild ourselves as a people is to look at Exodus and to note what happens in the Exodus, and for us, yes, to embrace the principles therein and to walk therein. Now, I know that if Camster email was on in the chat with us right now, he'd be asking, look, we need a leader, we got to have a leader. And that's true. In order to follow the Exodus narrative, there would need to be a particular leader. And of course, we know that the Most High is our leader, but also we know that HaMashiach, right, We know that the Messiah is going to be the one in the Messianic age to bring us to where we need to be and to reestablish the temple and the sacrifices and so on. But at this particular time, I think that it's important for us to observe Exodus because it pretty much shows us where we are. Okay, we are yet at this present time under the foot, under the boot, okay, of subjugation. And we're yet serving as avodim, the slaves or the servants of a foreign nation, that is not the nation of the Most High. Well, as we take a look here, we're going to take a look at Exodus, and we're going to look at this. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our app, our Hatanakh online app. You're able to follow us, and if you notice, we're going to go to the portions, and it shows you the portion that we're going to read today. Okay, the portion that we're going to read today. And all you have to do is click the button, and it'll take you to the portion. It's actually hiding behind me. Well, you can't see it. Oh, see that? All you have to do is click that button right there. Click the read button. And then it will take you to that particular portion, and then we'll be able to read. So with that being the case, I'm going to begin reading. Okay, we're going to be reading from chapter 10 all the way through. I'm going to be reading from chapter 10 all the way through to the end of chapter 13, and there will be some commentary on the way. So please get your pens, your pads, your papers, however you want to take notes. Get your cup of coffee, because we're about to go in. Here we go. And we see here that it reads, "And Yah said unto Moshe, Go in unto Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart, and the heart of his servants, that I may show these my signs before him." Now I need to pause right here, because when it says that he hardened his heart, in the Hebrew it actually says that he made his heart strong, or he made his heart heavy in a sense. In other words, he simply put a lot on his heart, okay? And this was something to worry about, because if all of the servant staff of Mitzrayim had have left, it would have destroyed the nation under the template of nationhood that we gathered was in play during this particular time. What do we mean by that? Well, at this particular time, just like in our day, there has to always be a subservient class underneath the hierarchy of the elites. If there isn't, then a portion of the elites must become that subordinate staff. You find that motif following all throughout the many different stories and the many different mythologies, including the mythologies concerning the, I mean, like, should I mention this? Like, really, should I mention this? The Anunnaki, right? That they, in the mythology of Mesopotamia, you find that, there was a god class, and they had individuals. There were also gods that were doing the work. And they said, hey, we don't want to do that no more. We're tired of this, right? And so there has to always be a subservient class when you have a status kind of a hierarchy where you have these super elites. You always need someone to serve you. Well, in order for the children of Israel to be set free, this would completely disrupt Mitzrayim. It would completely disrupt Egypt, and it would literally gut Egypt, and they would be so weakened that any other nation could come by and could control them. Well, we see here that there's a reason for Pharaoh's heart to be heavy, okay? Now, in my beginning days, I misread this as it being that the Most High kept, Pharaoh just wanted to say yes. And Pharaoh was like, man, tomorrow, man, when I see Moses, I'm going to tell him, yeah, y'all can go. Man. But then the Most High would step in and be like, no, you can't do that. And so harden his heart. No, I read it wrong. I read it as if the Most High, again, I read it because of the King James Version. The way that it's worded in the King James Version would lead you to believe that, Pharaoh's just really trying to say yes. But the Most High is like, no, 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 I ain't gonna let you do that. I ain't gonna let you do that because I want to punish you. Well, this is not what we find in the Hebrew. It's not what we see even in the heart of the text itself. When you look at the narrative and the context, it is not what we see, but rather the proper picture to be painted is that Pharaoh is already heavy of heart. And so the Most High just allowed that to increase. Okay. But Pharaoh was already arrogant. He believed himself to be a god based upon their hierarchy and their spiritual stature and practice. He believed himself to be a god. Okay. Which, by the way, see, I'm about to get off into some other stuff. Let me stay on point. Okay. So Pharaoh had a lot to be worried about. Okay. And so he says that I've hardened his heart. He's strengthened his heart to remain in its own, to soak in its own juices, right? There's nothing like someone who is mesmerized by their own opinion. And we find that in Pharaoh. We find that in him. Pharaoh is literally mesmerized by his own opinion. And so he is strengthened in that opinion. And so the Most High is simply allowing him to be strengthened in that opinion so that he may do as he desires. Pharaoh is already under judgment, okay? And the Most High even told him, look, dude, the reason why you're here is to go through this because I've raised you up for this purpose. Well, let's continue reading, because here it reads in verse number 2, and that thou mayest tell in the ears of your son and your son's sons what things I have wrought in Mitzrayim, and my signs which I have done among them, that ye may know how I, Yahweh, am. Okay, you need to know how I am. So yeah, all this is taking place. And Moshe and Aharon came in unto Pharaoh and said unto him, thus says Yahweh, Elohim of the Hebrews, how long will you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go, that they may serve me. Now this comes to Pharaoh's ears as Negro, you got to be out of your mind kind of a statement. It's like, it says, hey, you are asking me why I haven't submitted myself to your God. Remember in the previous chapters, Pharaoh said, man, I don't even know what God you talking about, dude. You get away from me with that stuff. I don't know what God you talking about. Get out of here. I got my own gods. Now Moses comes back and says, hey, you have refused to humble your, how long are you going to keep up these shenanigans in refusing to humble yourself under this God that you don't know? To Pharaoh, Pharaoh's like, man, these Hebrews, boy, these Hebrews. Probably what the Christians are saying about us too. Man, these Hebrews are crazy. Well, hey, the Most High told Pharaoh through the mouth of Moses, how long are you going to refuse to submit? How long are you not going to humble yourself? Okay. Now, please keep in mind, by means of that question, it was within Pharaoh's power to humble himself. Okay. There is not any time anywhere where the Most High has asked someone something, okay, that they were not able to do. Even in the confrontation with Job, the Most High said, stand up and answer me. And Job got to a point where, yeah, he was communicating with the Most High, but then he said, man, I can't, look, I can't answer, dude. You got me. Okay. I was mad. I was talking crazy, but now I'm okay. I'm good. So even at that, the Most High always asks us for things that we can do and things that we can give. For Moshe to say unto Pharaoh, or for the Most High to say through the mouth of Moshe, hey, why haven't you humbled yourself? It is because Pharaoh did have the opportunity and the ability to humble himself. The hardening of his heart was not so that he could not humble himself and obey. Pharaoh simply chose not to obey. Okay, and the Most High just strengthened that resolve that he already had. That's all that it means. He made his heart to be strong or heavy in the Hebrew. And so basically is denoting that Pharaoh really could have, if he wanted to, he could have repented and he could have humbled himself. Okay. And so as we take a look here, It says, how come you haven't humbled yourself? Else if you, verse number 4, refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow will I bring the locusts into your cause. You worried about your gross national product. You worried about, if the slave leaves. See, if the slave leaves, then our gross national product is going to be hit for Egypt. So we can't have that. So we can't let them go because we need to boost our GNP. Well, the Most High said, look, dude, I'm about to send locusts in and your country about to be hit anyway. You may as well forget about your gross national product. You may as well forget about how much Egypt is going to make this year. I'm about to send the locusts in, okay? I'm about to send them in and you're about to see it. Verse number 5, and they shall cover the face of the earth, that one cannot be able to see the earth, and they shall eat the residue of that which is escaped and which remaineth unto you from the hail, and shall eat every tree which grows for you out of the field. And this, of course, is reminiscent of the words of the prophet Yoel, who says that, hey, what the palmer worm have left, the cankerworm's going to eat him. What the cankerworm has, in other words, ain't going to be nothing left. I mean, everything is going to be gobbled up and you ain't got to worry about no gross national product, Pharaoh, because you're about to be hit. You may as well let them go. Well, in verse number 6, it says, and they shall fill your houses, and the house of your servants, and the house of all the Egyptians. Notice that the Egyptians specifically is basically pointed out here, which neither thy fathers nor thy fathers' fathers have seen since the day that they were upon the earth unto this day. And he turned himself and went out from Pharaoh. Now, this is significant because if you know anything about ancient Mitzrayim, if you know anything about ancient Kemet, that they have a king list that stretches back for thousands, tens of thousands of years, right? And in fact, they charted stars. Their scientists charted stars that in order to even confirm their conclusions, you would need for that incident to happen again and again. And guess what? There were incidents that they confirmed that would happen like every 36,000 years. So you had to have had a long list of kings and a long existence and a way of being scientific in order to find that out. And so we find it when he says that this is something that's about to happen that ain't one of your fathers ever seen before. He's going back a long way. He's going back a very long way and saying, you're about to experience something that ain't none of your ancestors experienced. And so notice what we read here. And Pharaoh's servant said unto him, how long shall this man be a snare unto us? Dude, let them go, okay? That they may serve their Elohim, right? Let them go, okay? Because basically already, and his elders, his chief courtiers are telling Pharaoh, dude, Egypt is already hit, dude. Mitzrayim is already hit. So what are you holding on to stuff for? You may as well just stop it. Stop it. Let the people go. Verse 8, and Moshe and Aharon were brought again unto Pharaoh, and he said unto them, okay, look. Okay, my dudes are on me. They're saying, look, you tripping. You may as well just go ahead and let them go. And so he says, look, okay. Go serve Yah, your Elohim. Okay, but before I give you the decree, who really is going with you? Verse number 9. And Moshe said, we will go with our young and with our old, with our sons and with our daughters, with our flocks and with our herds. We will go, for we must hold a feast unto Yah. And he said unto them, let Yah be so with you, as I will let you go, and your little ones. Look to it, for evil is before you. Now, this is a rather difficult construction. This is a rather difficult way of actually embracing this, okay? But notice, you can tell what he's after here when you look at verse number 11. Not so, go now, ye that are men, and serve Yah. In other words, it's dangerous out there. You don't need to be taking them kids out there. You don't need to be taking them kids and everything you got out there. Just let the fellas go. That's all you got to do. Verse number 11, just let the fellas go. Okay. And see, because that's really what you after. See, because that's really what you said that you wanted, which he didn't. He was talking about everyone going, right? For that ye did desire. In verse number 11, Pharaoh's telling Moses, see, you really want just the fellas to go anyway. So, yeah, I can okay that. And they were driven out from Pharaoh's presence. In other words, he said, okay, y'all get out of here, because y'all ain't going to give me what I want. And Yah said unto Moshe, stretch out your hand over the land of Mitzrayim for the locusts, that they may come up upon the land of Mitzrayim and eat every last thing standing. Verse 13, and Moshe stretched forth his rod over the land of Mitzrayim, and Yah brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought all them locusts. Man, brought them locusts. And the locust was extra hungry. And the locust went up over all the land of Mitzrayim and rested in all the coasts of Mitzrayim. Very grievous were they. Before them were no such locusts as they, neither after them shall be such, for they covered the face of the whole earth in that region, so that the land was darkened, and they did eat every herb of the land and all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left, and there remained not any green thing in the trees or in the herbs of the field through all the land of Mitzrayim. Then Pharaoh called for Moshe and Aaron in haste, and he said, look, okay, I was tripping again, man. I was tripping, man. I have sinned against Yah, your Elohim, and I also sinned against you. So I'm saying I'm sorry. Verse 17, now therefore forgive, I pray thee, my sin only this once. And I'm serious too. Forgive my sins only this once, and entreat unto Yah, which is your Elohim, that he may take away from me this death. Remove these locusts and stuff. I'm sorry too. I'm sorry. Verse number 18. And he went out from Pharaoh and entreated Yah. Verse 19. And Yah turned a mighty strong west wind, which took away the locusts and cast them into the Red Sea. There remained, or the Reed Sea actually, and there remained not one locust in all the coast of Mitzrayim. But Yah hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he would not let the children of Israel go. In other words, Pharaoh, once he saw that everything was good, he strengthened his resolve, and the Most High let him be strengthened in his heart to not let them go. Okay. And so verse number 21, and Yah said unto Moshe, stretch out your hand towards Hashemayim, towards the heavens, that there may be darkness over the land of Mitzrayim, even darkness which may be felt. Now, in this, people have said, this right here, this wasn't nothing but an eclipse. This was one of them eclipses. This is one of them eclipses that happened in ancient Israel and Mitzrayim. And you know what? That's exactly what this was. This was not an eclipse. Okay. Eclipses are momentary. Eclipses do not last over the span of 3 days. Okay, you may get eclipse that will linger for hours, some for minutes, but not only that, that is not a darkness that can be felt. The darkness was a palatable darkness, a darkness that you swear somebody is there, a darkness where you swear like, man, I could just feel this, almost like a blanket on me. And it was of such a darkness, it was either Ibn Ezra or Rashi who commented that the darkness was so thick that you light a candle and the candle itself would be lit, but it wouldn't give you any light for the room that you were in. So this was a very thick darkness that you could feel. It was a menacing darkness. And I might add that to Mitzrayim, to Egypt, this was akin to the darkness of their underworld. And so they were scared. They were scared out of their minds because of the darkness. Okay. So in verse number 21, we find that the darkness comes in verse number 22, and Moshe stretched forth his hand toward Shemaim, and there was a thick darkness. It says it's a thick darkness in all the land of Mitzrayim for 3 days, and they saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days, but all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings in Goshen. And Pharaoh called unto Moshe and said, and see, this is how we know. See, this is how the Most High acts. This is how the Most High behaves. Israel did not have the plagues. Israel did not have darkness. Israel's crops did not get eaten up by locusts. Israel's animals did not suffer death, but Mitzrayim did. This is why we need to be separate. This is why we need to be sanctified. This is why we need to walk in the Tanakh and walk in the ways of the Most High and not mingle ourselves with those that don't. Why? Because there is a separation to what comes. Those who walk with the Most High, they are blessed, but those who do not, they struggle, they suffer, and they die. 'Tis unfortunate, but hey, that's why the Most High is saying, and wisdom is saying, hey, I'm crying out to you. I'm calling out to you. Listen, okay? Listen. Well, we see here that in Israel there was light, or I should say Israel had light in Goshen, and Pharaoh called unto Moshe and said, okay, look, dude, just go serve Yah and let your flocks and your herds and everything stay here. Okay, fine. Take the women and take the children. I know I said just the fellows before, but now I'm saying you can take everybody, but you got to leave your flocks and your herds, and I'm gonna let you go. And the reason why Pharaoh was doing that was because he's like, look, if they leave all their goods here, if they leave all their driver's license, they leave their keys, they leave everything, they leave their checking accounts, they got to come back for that. They didn't have online banking back then. So it's like, hey, they got to come back for that. So they're going to leave everything that they got. And that way, I'm sure that they're going to come back. Out of this, my friends, my brothers, my sisters, my family, we find a form of welfare system, okay, being suggested here. Well, what do you mean by that? If your sustenance is being given to you by the government and the government has control of your sustenance, then they can control you and they can control where you go and what you do, as we see in verse number 24 here. Pharaoh is trying to control by means of the reallocation of their resources. If they reallocate their resources, put them in Pharaoh's pocket, let Pharaoh keep them, then they've got to go to Pharaoh in order to get their stuff, and he is able to control them. Okay? Need I say any more? Well, verse number 25, and Moshe said, you must also give us sacrifices and burnt offerings that we may sacrifice unto Yah our Elohim. Our cattle also shall go with us. There shall not a hoof be left behind. We ain't playing with you, Pharaoh. We want all our stuff, all our goods. We ain't coming back to you for jack diddly. But Yah hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let them go. Pharaoh said unto him, dude, get away from me. Okay? And you need to be careful. Okay, now Pharaoh starts throwing out threats. Get away from me, dude, and you need to be careful. And hey, look, next time you see my face, hey, you about to leave here, okay? I'm about to lay you down. You about to die. You see my face again. It's going to be the last time you see my face. And Moshe said, you have spoken well. I will see your face again no more. Verse number 11, chapter 11, verse 1. And Yah said unto Moshe, yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh and upon Mitzrayim. Afterwards he will let you go. Hence, when he shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out altogether hence. Now this is the Most High saying unto Moshe, as I've already said. Now it says, speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor and every woman of her neighbor jewels of silver and jewels of gold. Now let me just mention something here, because this kind of lends itself to substantiate that, it's possible. Some people say that the Israelites were actually the Hyksos, and they were the marauders. They were stealing from them. They were spoiling the Egyptians. Well, it's true that they were to walk away not empty. This is a form of their reparations, if you will. And so they're saying, hey, in this particular instance, go and borrow. Okay, go and take from those who are your neighbors. Okay, jewels of silver and jewels of gold. And you're going to find out later that, yes, there is an opportunity for them to take that gold, and for them to take that, and they're going to make the golden calf, which of course we're going to see later. But this is where they get the gold from. They're getting them from the Egyptians themselves. Now, we may ask, either they took the gold from them, or they did say, well, let me borrow it, and then say, okay, well, Pharaoh said we got to go, so I can give you your stuff back. I mean, however they did it, I mean, this was unique in its expression, if you will. Basically, they took from the Egyptians, okay? No matter which way you look at it, yes, they were due reparations, but hey, the way that they did it was they said, hey, let me borrow this gold and silver. And Yah gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Moreover, the man, Moshe, was very great in the land of Mitzrayim, in the sight of Pharaoh's servants. See, now, Pharaoh's servants started looking at Moshe and was like, hey, man, dude is all right, okay? And also the Egyptians themselves, okay, which shows you that you will always have a faction of the enemy that will want to come along with you. You will always have a faction. You'll always have a group of the enemy that want to come with you, which is why in the Hebrew, it says, when it says that they're a mixed multitude, it actually a word that would more so fit the context and the flavor of the Hebrew is the word riffraff. In other words, you had a bunch of folk up in there, okay? And so we're going to find out later that that's the case. But here, okay, notice verse number 4, and Moshe said, hey, Yah said, at about midnight will I go out into the midst of Mitzrayim, and all the firstborn of the land shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sits upon the throne to the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beasts. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Mitzrayim, such as there was none like it, nor shall there be any more. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast. And ye may know how that Yah does put a difference between the Egyptian and Israel. Yah puts a difference between those that walk in covenant with him and those of other nations. There it is, right there in the scriptures. He puts a difference between them. Verse number 8. And all these thy servants shall come down unto me and bow down themselves unto me, saying, get thee out, and all the people that follow thee. And after that I will go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in a great anger. So this was actually, remember, Pharaoh said, dude, get away from me, and don't let me see my, don't let me see your face again. Next time I see your face, it's curtains for you. Well, okay, all right. This was still a part of that particular confrontation. Maybe Moses was walking backwards, or maybe Moses said this before, and like, look, dude, okay, but I'm gonna say this before I go. And so we find these words being stated, okay. And so now we have here verse number 9, and Yah said unto Moshe, Pharaoh, he ain't gonna listen. He ain't gonna listen. And he's not gonna listen so that my wonders and my miracles may come forth. And Moshe and Aharon did all these wonders before Pharaoh. And Yah hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he would not let the children of Israel go out of his land. Verse number 1 of chapter 12. And Yah spake unto Moshe and Aharon in the land. And by the way, let me just back up here. I'm going to back up to 11 and 10. Notice what it reads here. It says, and Moshe and Aharon did all these wonders before Pharaoh, and Yah hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he would not let the children of Israel go out of his land. Please keep in mind here, because there's always the temptation to look at this in the blanketed form and say, well, see, Pharaoh wanted to let the people go, but the Most High wouldn't let him. Okay, please keep in mind what we've already stated, that Pharaoh's heart was already in that disposition, already in that mind, and the Most High simply allowed his heart to be strengthened or to be heavy upon whatever it is that Pharaoh decides. Okay, the Most High was not controlling Pharaoh's heart. The Most High was simply strengthening Pharaoh's heart in what he had already decided. Okay, with that being the case, please keep that in mind, because I know this used to get me back in the day as well. Well, let's take a look here at chapter 12 and verse number 1. And Yah spake unto Moshe and Aharon in the land of Mitzrayim, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months, period. This is the beginning of months for you. It shall be the first month of the year to you. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone does. This is the first month. It is the month of Aviv. It is the month for you. Speak unto all the congregation of Israel in the 10th day of this month. They shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next to his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Now, let me just say this. This verse that says that this month, okay, is going to be the beginning of months to you. Whenever a people as a nation, whenever they become a nation, there is their own version of reckoning of time. In other words, whenever a people become a nation, they will have their own reckoning of time. Okay? This is why when you look back in history and you see, like, for instance, in the French Revolution, whenever they won, they changed the calendar. Greece and Rome did the exact same thing. They conquer, they immediately change the calendar. The ruling nation, if you're a nation, you get to set your own time. It's just that Israel has the opportunity to not just only set their own time, but to give their time the significant meeting times with the Most High that we call Moedim. These are times that are specific, they're holy times, they're marked times, and so these times are important even in the eyes of the Most High, and we have them as a nation. Well, let's take a look here in verse number 5. It says, your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it until the 14th day. Now, let me ask you this. They say that JC was the lamb, right? Was JC crucified at 1 year old? Because this says that the lamb is going to be a male of the first year. Okay. Well, let's say animal years are different. And let's say animal years, let's say they're 7 to 1. Well, was he crucified at the age of 7? No, he's not. Well, there's many reasons we could point to that would show you that JC was not the Passover lamb, but nonetheless, verse number 6, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening, and they shall take the blood and strike it on the 2 side posts and on the upper doorpost of the house wherein they shall eat. Okay, so they're getting ready for the Passover. Tell them you're going to put the blood upon the mantle and the lintels of the door. Okay, and they shall eat the flesh in the night, roast with fire and unleavened bread and with herbs. They shall eat it. Now, one thing I love about this, my brothers and my sisters, is the Most High is telling them how to prepare, okay, for even what they're about to experience. Tonight, you're going to eat quick. because y'all about to get out of here. And he's telling them, I want you to keep this up as a festival unto me. You're going to keep this up at this time every year. You're going to keep it, right? Even though you're not in the promised land, you're going to keep it. But guess what? He's also telling them tonight, you're going to have to eat this way. This way y'all going to eat dinner tonight, okay? And so, as we see here, and they shall eat the flesh in the night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs shall they eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire his head with his legs, and with the pertinence thereof. Verse number 10, and ye shall let nothing of it remain until morning, and that which remain until morning ye shall burn with fire. Please keep in mind that he's talking about when you have this as a festival. When they were in Mitzrayim, of course, they had to get out of Dodge, so they had to move quick. They couldn't worry about what was happening in the morning. They had to get out of Dodge, right? Verse number 11, and thus shall ye eat it with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, your staff in your hand, and you shall eat it in haste. It is Yah's Pesach. In other words, it's the Passover of Yah, your Elohim. For I will pass through the land of Mitzrayim this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, both man and beast, and against all the Elohim of Mitzrayim I will execute judgment. I am Yah. This is a pregnant verse. This verse is the bomb dilly. Why do you say that Exodus 12 and 12 is the bomb dilly for a verse? Because in the title for this particular portion, I asked a question: what does this have to do with the Beney Elohim? What does the Exodus have to do with the Beney Elohim? I'm so glad you asked that question. When you take a look at it, of course, we see here that there is, first and foremost, he says that I'm going to pass through the land of Mitzrayim, and I want to deal with that later. I want to encapsulate that and deal with that later, the land of Mitzrayim, right? We know that he was coming this night, but he says, I'm going to smite the firstborn of the land of Mitzrayim, both of man and beast, and he says, and against all the Elohim of Mitzrayim, I will execute judgment. I am Yah. So wait for it, wait for it. How does that relate to the Beney Elohim? Well, of course, those of you that are members of this channel, those of you that have been following this channel, you will understand that in Genesis 11, the land was divided up as you tie together Genesis 11 along with Psalms 82 and along with Deuteronomy 32, verses 8 and 9, you will find that, and also what Naaman gives us to understand from Kings concerning Elijah and him sacrificing to Rimmon, or I should say sacrificing to the Most High instead of worshiping Rimmon, that the geographical landscape was divided amongst the Beney Elohim, and that over all the nations of the world, you had a certain member of the Beney Elohim that was ruling it, I would dare say, as a vassal, right? The suzerain or the supreme king is the Most High. The vassals are those who are put there to rule, but now we see where the Most High is saying, I'm going to execute judgment upon the gods of Mitzrayim. Now, here's why this is significant, and this is what this has to do with the Beney Elohim. In one of the previous chapters that we read concerning the Beney Elohim, I'm not going to get into that. You'll have to look at that particular lesson, okay, in order to get what I'm saying, some of you. But you look at it and you will find that the Most High, he's always had reign and rule over the entire planet, despite the fact that it's true that these deities, these smaller vassal Elohim seem to have been placed over the nations, but the Most High has always had rulership and leadership of the nations. So this is how the Beney Elohim interplay, in that one, this could be understood as, okay, the people, and see, now this is going to get real deep. This is going to get real deep. Since the people invested emotion, since the people invested their heart, their emotions, and their worship to these made-up deities, when it comes to, I mean, you can get into quantum physics, you can get into a number of different things, but bottom line of it is, whatever you give your emotion to, whatever you give your heartfelt worship and attention to, it becomes a real thing. I know that's hard for some to hear. What am I saying? I'm saying that collectively, groups of individuals can get together and create in a pseudo-spiritual realm, I dare say. It's really not a pseudo-spiritual realm. It is the spirit realm. We can actually create, I'm pausing. You can actually create those that are entities, living spiritual entities, that are nothing more than fragmented parts of your own heart, your own spirit, your own soul, that you've given as a name of that particular deity. Okay? It's called an egregore. Okay? Also called a pendulum, if you want to say collective, but it's called an egregore. Okay? It is a entity that can be created by the devotion of humans. So we look at verse number 12, and I know, this is deep. I know, stick with me. Okay. I know that these, those who were once involved in magic, you will understand exactly what I'm saying. But in looking at this, he says that he's going to basically execute judgment upon the gods of Egypt. Now, as we take a look at Deuteronomy, we can understand that, yeah, there was judgment that was going to be executed. You look at Psalms 92, you look at Deuteronomy, as I said before, 32, you look at other verses of scripture, it points to the Most High judging those who are under him, or those who would, in this particular case, be the vassals while he's the sovereign. Or we call the sovereign king the suzerain. Okay, and those underneath the suzerain or sovereign king are the vassals. Well, the Beney Elohim then would be serving as vassals. And so now, if we could tie in those verses of scripture that I alluded to say that now comes the judgment for the territory of Mitzrayim. So the Passover then is that, and it reminds perhaps even those Beney Elohim of the judgment that came from the Most High, okay, that of course within itself was enacted through the Passover. Now, please keep in mind that the judgment of the gods of Mitzrayim did not come, let me make this point too, okay? It did not come by means of the blood being put upon the mantle and the left and right door lintels. No. It came by the firstborn of all the land being slain. That was the warfare against the Elohim of Mitzrayim. Okay? Some people say, see that was the blood of the lamb. The blood of the lamb was the lamb's blood was just to make sure that the destroyer didn't enter into the house of the Israelites. Okay? Because of covenant, right? Everything is being done out of covenant. Well, the death of the firstborn, as we see, is that which toppled Mitzrayim and was the last and final straw. As we see here, notice what we read. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses wherein ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Mitzrayim. In this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast unto Yah throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. So forget that crap about, oh, we see JC on the cross. He is our, he is our perpetual, he's doing it. No. You're supposed to keep it forever, right? You're supposed to do it forever, right? 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eats leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day, that nefesh, that soul, is going to be cut off, okay? Because you are trying to, in your actions, please keep in mind, actions are so important, even in the spiritual realm. You see, we wonder sometimes, well, how come we got to be obedient? How come we got, listen, you need to be obedient because actions do two different things. Actually three, but I'm going to just give you two. Actions do two different things. One, it establishes what is yours legally in the realms of spirituality. Okay. It's like this. It's like, if I plant something, I deserve to have something come up, right? If I plant it and take care of it and water it, I deserve to have the fruit, right, of whatever that is that I'm growing. Well, when you do something, you obligate the spiritual realms to observe not just what you've done, but also mandate that you receive for what you have done. In other words, it does kind of like solidify your receiving because you have done something. Two, it also establishes who you are by the repetitious doing of that thing. Okay? A liar continues to lie. An alcoholic continues to imbibe alcohol. It shows you who you are. So once again, you're able to say, this is who I am. Therefore, I have this coming. You're able to go before the Most High and say, I walk by your laws and your statutes. I have the covenant. I walk in the covenant. Therefore, I demand that I have the covenant blessings. I demand that I walk in your blessings. I demand that I walk in your healing. I demand that you have that right. That is what right actions does for you. And that is the power of righteousness. Okay. That is the power of righteousness. Okay. Well, with that being the case, it's important for us to understand that these things were to be done. And so it says, and in the first day, there shall be an holy convocation. And in the seventh day, there shall be a holy convocation to you. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that every man must eat, that only may be done of you, which is what we gonna do today. Right? We gonna eat. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in the same day have I brought your armies out of the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever. In the first month, in the 14th day of the month, at even ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even. 7 days shall there be no leavened bread found in your houses, for whosoever eats that which is unleavened, even that nefesh shall be cut off from your congregations of Israel. Whether he be a stranger or born in the land, ye shall eat nothing leavened in all your habitations. Ye shall eat nothing leavened. Ye shall eat unleavened bread. Then Moshe called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take your lamb according to your families and kill the Pesach. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin, and none of you shall go out, at the door of his house until morning. For Yah will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he seeth blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, okay, Yah will pass over the door, and will not suffer the destroyer to come into your house to smite you. And ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to your sons forever. And it shall come to pass that when ye be come into the land which Yah your Elohim will give you, according as he hath promised, that ye shall keep this service. And it shall come to pass that when your children shall say unto you, what mean ye by this service? That you shall say, it is a sacrifice unto Yah. It is Yah's Pesach, who passed over the house of the children of Israel in Mitzrayim, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses, and let the people bowed their head and worship. And the children of Israel went away and did as Yah had commanded Moshe and Aharon, so did they. Verse number 29. And it came to pass that at midnight Yah smote all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat in the throne unto the firstborn of the captives that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of the cattle. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, and he and all his servants and all the Egyptians that there was a great cry. They started crying and yelling and moaning. And there was not a house where there was not one dead. And he called for Moshe and Aharon by night and said, rise up and get you forth. He called for them by night and said, get up and get out of here. Right? Both you and your children, all of y'all go. I don't want to see one of y'all. Get up and get out of here. Verse number 32. Also take your flocks and your herd. Get all your stuff and go. Man, I don't want to see nothing of y'all's here. Go. Take all your junk with you. And the Egyptians were urgent upon the people that they might send them out of the land in haste. For they said, we be all dead men. Keep the jury that you got from us. Keep the gold. I don't even care. Just get out of here. Leave now. And the people took their dough, for it was leaven, their kneading troughs being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moshe, and they borrowed of the Egyptians of the silver and the gold and the raiment. And Yah gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent them such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians. So here we have a better context in that basically they said, well, okay, you want us gone, give us some stuff. And they're like, here, take it, take the gold, take this suit, take this, I just bought this dress, but hey, just got this from Amazon, but you can have it, I don't care. And so they're giving them some of everything. Verse 37, and the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot, that were men beside children. And the mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks and herds, even very much cattle. So again, the correct word for this mixed multitude was, riffraff. So they had a bunch of other people following too. Look, we leaving Mitzrayim too. We out of here. We leaving too. I mean, I know y'all got your own thing, but hey, we going too, right? You always have someone following and trying to be a part of, right? Verse number 40, now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Mitzrayim was 430 years. And of course, I did deal with the timeline. I don't necessarily want to get into that right now, right here, but suffice it to say that Israel was not slaves. Israel was not in servitude and bondage to Mitzrayim for 430 years. Okay, we understand that to be true. There's a borrowed graph that I have that I could show you where the most time that the children of Israel were in slavery would have been around 132 years, but that's for another discussion. Let's continue forward. So we see here, and it came to pass in verse number 41, and it came to pass at the end of 430 years, even the self same day, right? Verse number 42, it is a night to be much observed unto Yah for bringing them out from the land of Mitzrayim. This is the night of Yah to be observed of all the children of Israel in their generations. And Yah said unto Moshe and Aharon, this is the ordinance of the Pesach, there shall no stranger eat thereof, but every man's servant that is bought for money, when thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof. A foreigner and a hired servant shall not eat thereof. A foreigner and a hired servant shall not eat thereof. In one house shall it be eaten. Thou shalt not carry forth aught of the flesh abroad out of the house, neither shall ye break a bone thereof. The reason why he said you shall not break a bone thereof was because they had a practice of breaking open the bones and eating the marrow out of the bones, okay? And that took time. Most High said, look, you ain't got time for all that. Y'all need to hurry up and eat and get out of here. So you're not going to break a bone of it. You're not going to eat the marrow. You're not going to do any of that, okay? You're just going to leave. It's time for you to go, right? Verse 47, and all the congregation of Israel shall keep it. And when a stranger shall sojourn with you, in other words, when he stays with you and he keeps Pesach, let all his males be circumcised, and let him come near and keep it, and he shall be as one that is born in the land. Oh my, and he shall be as one born in the land. For no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. One Torah, oh boy, I love this verse right here. Chapter 12, 49, one Torah, one law, one instruction shall be to him that is homeborn and unto the stranger that sojourns among you. You don't have a separate law if you're a Gentile. You do not have a separate law if you're a Gentile. I will say it again. You do not have a separate law if you're a Gentile, which makes Acts the 15th chapter null and void. There is no special law, no separation of law for a Gentile, okay? Verse number 50, thus did all the children of Israel as Yah commanded Moshe and Aharon, so did they, and it came to pass the selfsame day that Yah did bring the children of Israel out of the land of Mitzrayim. Well, this is last chapter, chapter number 13, verse number 1. We're actually going to take just a little bit of a break right here before we get into chapter 13. All right, getting back into chapter 13. Here we go, down the home stretch. And Yah spake unto Moshe, saying, sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever opens the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast. Basically, it's mine. Okay? It's mine. And Moshe said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came forth from Mitzrayim out of the house of bondage, for by strength the hand of Yah brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. This day came you out in the month of Aviv. Now let me just back up a little bit and let me just draw a parallel here, because you notice something here that really is a parallel. Well, what are you talking about? Well, we notice here once again where there seems to be parallels between the activities of those who work magic and those who are prophets of the Most High. There are parallels to be drawn, and it seems as if the difference is that the laws, the spiritual laws whereby we worship the Most High, that they belong to Him and Him alone. When you do things for other subordinate spirits or for the beney Elohim, it is then that we can look and we can say, hey, that is not to be done, because it's only to be done in the name of the Most High. It is the will of the Most High that is to be done. Well, what do you mean? If you go back here just a few verses, we're going to find where the Most High said, hey, I'm going to judge and I'm going to deal with the gods of Mitzrayim. And you notice it is the firstborn that were being dealt. Basically, the firstborn were dying, right? And so there's a connection between the firstborn of every family and the deity of the land, the deity that is being served and the deity that is being worshipped, okay? And we see here where the Most High says, hey, Now that you're away from Mitzrayim, here's what I want you to understand. Now all of your firstborn, they belong to me. I'm your Elohim. I'm your God. All of your firstborn belong to me. And so with that parallel, we see that there's things that are, okay, and let me say this, okay? I don't want to sound like a theologian, but there are things that are apotropaic. Apotropaic. What does that mean? Things that are apotropaic. Things that are apotropaic that may surprise you that Israel had. The name of Yah himself was said to be an apotropaic. What is an apotropaic? An apotropaic is something that wards away evil, something that keeps evil away from you. People use it like a charm, okay? People use it like a charm. It's therefore an apotropaic, and it wards away evil. It keeps evil away from you. The the scroll, the smallest scroll and the oldest scroll fragment that we have is of the blessing of Aharon, where it says, and make Yah make his face to shine upon you. Well, that was worn on the clothes as an apotropaic, okay? There's other things that we could point to as an apotropaic. The lamb's blood on the doorpost for Pesach was an apotropaic. Looking at a number of other things, we see that there are many things within Israel, including certain practices, okay, that were apotropaic, and this is one of them. The firstborn being dedicated unto the Most High was an apotropaic, meaning that you dedicated and you presented your child to the Most High as an apotropaic, so that evil would stay away from you and stay away from the family and stay away from the child. And this was done, okay? This was something that became of supreme importance for every family, and then also for the nation, as we read here. So in verse 2, he says, hey, yeah, so your firstborns, yeah, they belong to me, okay? They belong to me. And he says, you're not going to eat any unleavened bread. Verse number 8, and you shall show your son in that day, saying, this is done because of what Yah did unto me when I came forth out of Mitzrayim. And it shall be for a sign unto you upon your hand, and for a memorial between your eyes, that Yah, okay, that Yah's Torah may be in your mouth. For with the strong hand have Yah brought us out of Mitzrayim. Now, please keep in mind, this is where many say, well, you know, this is why we got to have that little box on our head. And this is why we got to have, you know, this is why we have to have that written out, you know, tied about our arm, because we got to make sure that we do the law. No, this is basically, it's idiomatic, okay? It's also meant not literally, but figuratively, so that you understand that you're always to have the law of the Most High before you and at your right hand, so that you do it. I mean, this is what this is symbolizing, but many people have taken this literally, and so they actually have they tie the little box with the law in it on their foreheads, okay? Well, if that helps you to fulfill the law and statutes and commandments of the Most High, you go right ahead. But I see it as having been figurative, meaning that you're always to have the law of the Most High in your consciousness, and you're always to have it in actions with the things that you do. You are to obey the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, period. Okay? But some have taken verse number 9, 13 and 9, literally instead of figuratively. Thou shalt therefore keep this ordinance in his season from year to year, and it shall be when Yah shall bring you into the land of the Canaanites, as he sware unto you and unto your fathers, and shall give it to you, that you shall set apart unto Yah all that opens the matrix, every firstling that comes of the beast which thou hast, all the males, okay, shall belong to Yah. And Verse number 13, and every firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem unto a lamb with a lamb, and if thou wilt not redeem it, then thou shalt break its neck, and all the firstborn of man among thy children shalt thou redeem. And it shall be when thy sons ask thee in the time to come, saying, what is this? That thou shalt say unto him, by strength of the hand of Yah, he brought us out from Mitzrayim, from out of the house of bondage. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that Yah slew all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to Yah all that opens the matrix, being males, and all the firstborn of my children I redeem. Of course, understand when he says that I redeem, he's saying that I'm giving a piece of silver, okay, that's predetermined. The amount is predetermined, but I'm giving silver to redeem my firstborn son unto the Most High. Redeeming my firstborn by means of giving this silver. Looking at verse number 16, and it shall be for a token upon thine hand and the frontlets between thine eyes, for by strength of hand that Yah brought us out of Mitzrayim. And it came to pass that when Pharaoh had let the people go, that Elohim led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For Elohim said, lest peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Mitzrayim. Which lets you know that no one can keep you free. No one can keep you free. You have to want to remain free. You can go back if you want to, right? But Elohim led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up harnessed out of the land of Mitzrayim. And Moshe took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, Elohim will surely visit you, and ye shall carry my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Sukkoth and encamped in Etham in the edge of the wilderness. And Yah went before them by day in a pillar of cloud, and led them by the way, and by night in a pillar of fire, to give them light to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. May Yah bless the reading, understanding, and the doing of his word that we embrace this day. This has been the Torah portion for today. When I get back, we are going to open it up for questions concerning this Torah portion. All right, we are opening it up, yes, for questions concerning this Torah portion. And yes, the call-in number is scrolling underneath me very soon. And so, yes, you will be able to call in and to ask, or even just to type it in the chat room if you would like. Yes, now is the time for you to ask questions concerning this Torah portion. Okay, so we want you to be able to ask. Let me tiptoe into the chat room and see what you all are saying. Let's see what you all are asking. So yes, please, by all means, make it to be related to the Torah portion. Okay, let's not ask about, what color bowl was eaten out of.
Call from
Adrian.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Yeah, I did press 1.
Call from
Adrian.
I'm trying to get the call. I kept pressing 1 and didn't. Brother Adrian, please call back. I actually did press 1. I don't know why this didn't click over. So if you could please call back, I would appreciate it. They heard online when I was pressing. I'm pressing. In fact, let me see if I can call you back. Let's see. Can I do this? There we go.
Call from.
Adrian.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Brother Adrian. Shalom, shalom.
Call from.
Adrian.
To accept, press 1. To send a...
I don't know why this is not accepting for some reason. I've never had this problem before. It seems as if we go through one issue after another here with this. I'm going to actually try to call... I'm going to try to call Brother Adrian back. Hold on here. Let me see if I can do this. I'm calling our brother back. Let's see. I don't know if he recognizes the number.
Telephone number 615400395 can't take your call now.
Okay, I tried to call our brother Adrian back. For whatever reason, I don't know why this did not pick up. I apologize. You heard me click the number and it was not clicking. So I apologize in advance. I don't know what just happened, but hey, we did try to get your call. If you want to call back, of course you can. Yeah, and okay, thank you, Brother Adrian. You said tried to call. I also tried to call you. Okay, this is you. Call him back.
Call from.
Adrian.
Okay, so I just hit the number, and I'm just hitting the number again. So the call
Can you
should...
hear me?
Yes, I can.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. I'm glad that the call finally came through, man. I was hitting the button. Anyway, Go ahead.
Yah, maker and creator of all things and everything. I praise him always, he only. And just want to bless him, thank him for this Shabbat and seeing all the family. It's indeed a blessing. I'm going to ask a forbidden question. Sometimes I have to throw caution to the wind, so don't be angry with me for asking a forbidden question, but Methuselah's grandma, did she have a sew-in or a lace front, and how many inches was it? Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. I stopped being silly.
Oh, that's
I'm
funny.
going to go ahead and ask the question that I wanted to ask was about the portion today. So, if you look at chapter 12 in verses 13 and 23, that's where my questions were in regard to. So in 13, it talks about the plague to destroy. It was dealing with the firstborn. And then in 23, it talked about the destroyer would come in to smite them. So my question is, and maybe a speculation, but if you have understanding, maybe share, if they had not obeyed, would Yah have plagued them with the death of the firstborn, or would he have destroyed them as a family, in totality? Because we see there are times when he did destroy entire families, but in this case, what is your understanding on that? Now I'll go ahead and hang up. Thank you.
Okay, you said chapter 13, verses 12 and 23?
It was chapter 12, verses 13 and 23.
All right, well, let me revisit that, okay, and let me address that, okay?
Okay, and I'll go ahead and hang up.
All righty.
All right, shalom.
Shalom. Okay, so then in taking a look at that, let's go back and take a look at chapter 12, and he said 23 and also 13, I believe. Was it 13 and 23? I should have written it down. Okay, so let's do this. Right here it reads in chapter 12, verse number 13, and the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Mitzrayim. Verse number 20. Verse number 23. Wait, was it 12? Let's see here. Verse number 12 says, for I will pass through the land of Mitzrayim this night, and I will smite the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Mitzrayim I will execute judgment, and the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are, and when I see the blood I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Mitzrayim. And 20, I believe it was 23, was it? For Yah will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he sees the blood upon the lintel and the two side posts, Yah will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come into your houses and smite you. So I believe the question was in regards to would the Most High, like if they did not obey, basically kind of like, well, the way I understand the question is, what would happen if they didn't? Okay, what would happen if they did not? If they did not obey the Most High, it seems as if, let's see here, when he says that if you don't put the blood on the doorpost, then yes, then the destroyer will be allowed to come in. Now, it was only seeking the firstborn on the houses of the Egyptians and in the barns and in the fields where there was not the blood on any doorpost whatsoever, only the firstborn. So I don't gather from that the Most High would have destroyed the whole family. It was only the firstborn that would have been affected in any case. It just so happens that the Most High, again, he would allow, while on one hand he would allow all the plagues to hit Mitzrayim but not Goshen, here it says, you know what, hey, I'm going to judge. You need to put this blood upon your door. Okay, now, for me, when I look at the text, I see an overlap. What do you mean overlap? I see where there were Israelites that were in Goshen, but I don't believe all the Israelites were just in Goshen. I believe that some of the Israelites were cohabiting with Egyptians. That's just what I see, because we find there being allusions to that kind of a mixture in earlier parts of the text. And so those individuals would have definitely have needed to, to be protected, because you're in trouble, right? If you have you and your firstborn in the house of an Egyptian, what happens there? If you're commingling, what happens there? Again, which speaks to why we need to be separate, why we need to be Israelites, why we need to, have our acts together, because these things are very important. So to answer your question, as I perceive your question to be, what would be the case if the Most High, if the blood was not upon the lintel and the two side posts? Well, it would be that the firstborn of that house would have died, whether it be those of the Israelite, those of Israel, or those of the Egyptians. That would have been the case. Okay. And please keep in mind that this last strike was a strike not just at Egypt as a whole, not at Pharaoh as a whole, but the Elohim, the gods of the Egyptians, which were tied to the firstborn and vice versa. So thank you for that great question. I appreciate the question. I think that was an excellent question to ask, and I appreciate it. Let's see. Are there any other questions? Please put my name on it so that I know that I am to address it. And I don't see. Oh, okay. George Evans does ask a question. He says, could these people that fled Egypt in a haste eventually become and called the nomad Shasu of Yah I've read that before. Okay, so in looking at the Shasu, I know that you brought that question up before about the Shasu. It does show that the Shasu, that they were worshipers of Yah. Now, it's not, I don't know if we know enough. I know I personally do not know enough to emphatically state whether or not part of the Shasu were Israel, or if Israel were really just the Shasu by a different name. I think that there is I think that chronology is a problem. I think that the Shasu were earlier peoples, that Israel actually came later than the Shasu. I know this also gets into the conversations about the Bantu and the Bantu migration. At face value, I'm going to say that I truly am, listen, I truly believe in overlap. I really do. You had some people, because think about it for a second. Think about us as a people right now. You don't have every one of us living in neighborhoods together. You got some of us living all over the place. And I mean, I'm talking about black folk, right? You go to some of the more so less mixed, less integrated territories, and you will still see some of us somewhere around there, right? So I don't think that that's just our day and our age. I think that's always been. You had some of Israel in Mitzrayim, and you had some of Mitzrayim in Israel. And please keep in mind what I've always stated to you about nationhood. Nationhood is really about ideology and not about nationality. I've spoken about this, and I've spoken about this a number of different times. Okay. And it's just one of those things where, I mean, you have to include that even in Israel becoming a nation, those that agreed with Israel. As we saw in the latter part of the text, and from the middle to the end part of chapter 13 of Exodus, we saw where Pharaoh's own court were starting to like warm up to Moses and was like, man, them Israelites, man, they ain't, they got something going on over there. Even the Egyptians, some of the Egyptians themselves, the text alludes to there being Egyptians themselves that were like, hey, these Israelites, they got something going on. No matter what, you're always going to find a remnant of any people trying to mix in with others. I mean, our people mix in with other people as well. So I hope that suffices. Sorry for the long answer. And with that being the case, it looks like we have exhausted all of the questions. Now, I'm gonna have to do something because of a technical difficulty. I'm gonna have to do something real quick, and I'm gonna have to stall and do like a long commercial. So take this time to get you something to drink, get you something to eat, because I have something that I absolutely have to do, and hopefully I can do it quickly. Because of something that has happened. So be right back.
Hi, I'm Melki Uriel, and I'm excited to offer you a brand new course at Navi Bait Academy. One of the first courses that we're developing at Navi Bait Academy, and we're welcoming you. It's called the Hebrew Memorization Course, and perhaps you've been reading some Hebrew reference materials, and you note that the paragraphs are numbered by the Hebrew alphabet, as well as the verses. And you're wondering, well, how do I know which is which? If I want to go to a particular paragraph, how do I do that? You may also be wondering, well, how do I memorize the 10 Commandments? I want to be able to memorize the 10 Commandments and know them frontwards and back, and be able to recall them in order, and to know which commandment is which. As well as the Hebrew alphabet, I want to know the Hebrew alphabet and their numerical values from 1 to 400, I'm here to tell you that you can do that now. Now there is a course here at Navi Bait Academy where you will memorize the Hebrew alphabet from 1 to 22 and their numerical values from 1 to 400, as well as the 10 commandments. All anyone will be able to have to do is to just either speak the number or the Hebrew alphabet, and you will be able to recall it. It's as simple as thinking of a number like 19, and 19 in the Hebrew alphabet is Qaf, which its numerical value is 100, and its paleographic Hebrew symbol is that of the horizon. Let's say 3, all right, just a random number. 3 in the Hebrew alphabet is Gimel, and its paleographic Hebrew symbol is that of the foot, and also its number is 3. But guess what? Since it's 1 through 10, number 3 would represent the third commandment of the 10 commandments, which is thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Well, how am I able to do that? I'm able to do that because I've been using this system for some time now, and I'm willing to offer to you through this course at Navi Bait Academy. That's right. You can take your time. If it takes you a week, if it takes you a month, if it takes you 2 years, it's up to you to just study at your own pace. The only thing we ask you to do is just to dig in with us. And I'll even let you in on a secret. You can start the course for free. So thank you very much, and we can't wait to see you on the other side.
Well, here we are once again with This Is Just Crazy.
Jesus Christ.
See, why? Okay, here's my question. Notice what he did. I mean, so he slipped and fell, right? While he was in church service, why did he have to pretend like it was the Holy Ghost and started speaking in tongues?
Jesus Christ.
I mean, like, why? I'm just saying, look.
Welcome back. Today we dive into the unforgettable world of African churches, where miracles turn into stunts.
I mean, like, did you see that person twerking on stage? Twerking on stage.
Tongues sound like comedy. Dances light up the service. This is the funniest side of worship, all captured.
I mean, if you did that in some of our churches today, that you'd have them nurses over there covering you up and missionaries. I mean, you have. Is that Harry Potter in the background? Do y'all see Harry Potter? Is that Potter? Wow.
In one epic compilation. Let's get into it. He had to repeat everything that the pastor said, but English was the problem.
So from today, lift up your hand. From today, Jesus Christ, you are my personal savior. Your personal savior. You died for me. Eyes on me. You died for me. Died for me. On the cross of Calvary. I'm the only traveler. On the cross of Calvary. My father, man.
He slept during the church service, and this is what the cameraman did to him.
His friend, you see his friend trying to wake him up. I mean, so that's a real friend right there. I gotta say, that is a real friend. He's trying to wake him up.
And this is what the cameraman
You're like,
did
dude,
to
man,
him.
dude, get up.
Call me back. Call me back. I want to speak to somebody before you die.
Are you playing? What type of plane is this? This is playing. Are you playing? What type of plane is this?
That's only Bob.
This is one dance I do not want to see done in church.
As he was preaching, he noticed a guy sleeping in the front row, and this is what he did.
Kenya iko mambo mengi sana. Amka. Amka na makofi yako ya takataka. Toka hapa, enda nyuma huko. Kwenda nyuma. Kwenda huko, stupid.
This couple was caught.
I mean, like, really though? Like, I mean, you gonna slap him and call him stupid? I mean, his wife is right there, really?
Red-handed on camera in church.
Busted!
Don't joke with your children. How many times you married women
A Zimbabwean prophet speaking in tongues.
Chang chung chelichos, chun chung chang cheliches, chalichong gangi
Is that Chinese?
inchili mangatsia kunkunche, chaminchu unchele enchele nyenyu. Changing che, changing che, changing che, changing che.
So the guy opposite him is supposed to interpret this.
Shuchu, shang shuang shuinga angan shinchu, cha 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 cha, choncho ancho.
Oh boy. I mean, like, if you're supposed to interpret this, what are you going to say?
Chunga, angenyu chukung angeni achanganga, ngengundulu mangi chengung che.
I mean, like, when is it going to stop? And it actually, if he says anything, who's going to say he's wrong? He could say, you know, thus says the Lord, you know, lollipops for everyone. I mean, he can't say that he's wrong. In fact, he's doing the right thing. Just look deep, hold the microphone, and just.
Chang cheng 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 ju a chelenchu usulunja aki cha chelu a cheche.
Dude, enough already.
A chulumanche chang chu.
Even he tired. He's like, look, man, this is enough.
Wang chwe kinga kikia kashwa chwa chwe kiko ochelemente.
Did you?
Chwa chwe kiko ochelemente atsutu chacha che chalu 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 chwang chwe le sha.
Yeah. Wow.
The church choir master was embarrassed after this happened.
Woo! Wow. I'm sorry, but just to look and see that that's your choir, okay, so you know, like, okay, we need some more rehearsal.
Please, we are sorry. We are sorry.
He wanted to sing, but his fake teeth kept on falling.
Because,
Because I know you're the future.
This was a funny moment of confusion as they competed to sing the same song at the same time.
Sing the, sing the, sing the wonders of Jesus.
Oh boy, attitudes in the church house. Attitudes up in the church.
Sing His mercy and His grace.
She can sing better than you.
In the mansion.
Stop. Let me sing. Stop. Let me.
With these energy levels, one day Satan is going to be in Africa.
Oh, watch out. Bowling for dollars in 3 seconds.
Was this real or rehearsed? I will let you be the judge.
Man, please. Okay. You know what? I'm good. I think I done had enough. Because this is just crazy.
Hi, I'm Melky Uriel, and I'm excited to offer you a brand new course at Navi Beta Academy. One of the first courses that we're developing at Navi Beta Academy, and we're welcoming you. It's called the Hebrew Memorization Course, and perhaps you've been reading some Hebrew reference materials, and you note that the paragraphs are numbered by the Hebrew alphabet, as well as the verses. And you're wondering, well, how do I know which is which? If I want to go to a particular paragraph, how do I do that? You may also be wondering, well, how do I memorize the 10 Commandments? I want to be able to memorize the 10 Commandments and know them frontwards and back and be able to recall them in order and to know which commandment is which. As well as the Hebrew alphabet. I want to know the Hebrew alphabet and their numerical values from 1 to 400. I'm here to tell you that you can do that now. Now there is a course here at Navi Beta Academy where you will memorize the Hebrew alphabet from 1 to 22 and their numerical values from 1 to 400, as well as the 10 Commandments. All anyone will be able to have to do is to just either speak the number or the Hebrew alphabet, and you will be able to recall it. It's as simple as thinking of a number like 19, and 19 in the Hebrew alphabet is Kaf, which its numerical value is 100, and its paleographic Hebrew symbol is that of the horizon. Let's say 3, all right? Just a random number. 3 in the Hebrew alphabet is Gimel, and its paleographic Hebrew symbol is that of the foot, and also its number is 3. But guess what? Since it's 1 through 10, number 3 would represent the third commandment of the 10 Commandments, which is, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Well, how am I able to do that? I'm able to do that because I've been using this system for some time now, and I'm willing to offer to you through this course at Navi Beta Academy. That's right. You can take your time. If it takes you a week, if it takes you a month, if it takes you 2 years, it's up to you to just study at your own pace. The only thing we ask you to do is just to dig in with us.
12:47 p.m. on a Sunday. You are still at the desk, not because you want to be, because Monday starts in a few hours, and the work didn't finish itself while you were making dinner. You have been trading time for money since you were 16. Every dollar that came in required you to be somewhere, to show up, to clock in, to perform. The arrangement is clean. You work, they pay. You stop working, they stop paying. There is nothing complicated about it. There is also nothing that runs without you. You think about passive income the way most people think about it at this stage, which is to say, abstractly. You've seen the phrase, you understand it roughly, money that arrives without you physically earning it in that exact moment. The idea sounds simple. The execution feels like something other people do. People with starting capital, people with audiences, people with time they haven't already sold to someone else. You close the laptop at 12:09 a.m. Tomorrow is Monday. The rule, the first rule of passive income. At level 1, passive income is not a financial category. It is a concept you haven't converted into action yet. The gap between understanding it and building it is not knowledge. It is the first decision to begin, made once, with no immediate financial reward for making it. It took longer than you expected. Not because the concept was complicated, because building anything while working full-time happens in fragments. 30 minutes here, a Sunday afternoon there, a long weekend where you actually sat down and finished something. You have a digital product, an ebook, a template, a small course, something you made once, something that can be purchased while you sleep, while you are in a meeting, while you are on a train. You sold 3 copies last Tuesday. You were not at your desk when any of them processed. That is the first real feeling of it, not the money. The money is $47. The feeling is that something happened without you having to be there for it to happen. That is different from anything a paycheck has ever produced. A paycheck is a record of your presence. This is something else. The $150 a month doesn't change your life. Your rent has not changed. Your commute has not changed. What has changed is that there is now a second column in your financial picture. One column is hours. The other column is not hours. It is small, but it exists. And things that exist can grow in ways that things that don't exist cannot. You are not financially free at this level. You are not close, but you have built something that earns without you showing up, and that means you have learned something that cannot be unlearned. The rule, the second rule of passive income. The first $200 a month is not about money. It is proof of mechanism. The system works. Something earns without you. That proof is worth more than the $200 because it changes what you believe is possible for the $2,000 and the $20,000 that come after. The number crosses $500 in a month that you weren't particularly focused on it. You added a second product. You spent 2 weekends on it. You priced it differently than the first one. You promoted it twice and then mostly left it alone. It sells roughly 6 times a month. You have started thinking about what you built less as content and more as infrastructure. Infrastructure is different from content. Content requires you. Infrastructure runs. A landing page is infrastructure. An email sequence is infrastructure. A checkout flow that works at 2 a.m. is infrastructure. You built it once, it operates continuously. The distinction matters because content thinking leads to exhaustion, and infrastructure thinking leads to systems.
This is the difference, my brothers and sisters, between someone who is just being a content creator, trying to put something out, and someone who is actually making a difference in their lives and other lives. Remember the scripture that reads that the Most High, He does make rich. He provides for you, but He adds no sorrow. I love the idea of being able to make money while you sleep.
The $700 you made last month was not passive in the romantic sense of the word. You spent real hours on it upstream. But the hours and the dollars are no longer locked in a direct ratio. You are not paid per hour here. You are paid per sale, per click, per subscriber who converts. Those things happen on their own schedule, not yours. There is a different quality to this money. You did not trade a Tuesday for it. It arrived on a Tuesday without requiring the Tuesday. The Tuesday was free. The third rule of passive income. Crossing $500 a month is the point where the mental model shifts from project to system. You stop asking how to make the next sale and start asking how to make the sale happen without asking. Something quiet happens around $1,000 a month. The number exceeds your phone bill, your car payment, or your grocery budget. One of your fixed costs is now theoretically covered by money you did not clock in for. That is not a dramatic realization. It lands almost gently, as if you didn't notice the first time it happened because you were looking somewhere else. You have diversified without fully planning to. The first product still sells. You added a second revenue source, an affiliate arrangement, a newsletter with sponsorships, a licensing agreement for something you made. None of it is large individually. Together they produce $1,800 last month. The month before was $2,200. There is variance. The variance doesn't panic you the way it would have 2 years ago because the floor is higher now. You still have your job. You are not living off this. You are not supposed to be yet. What you are doing is learning how money can compound. You reinvest most of what the passive streams produce. More product, better infrastructure, email list growth. The machine that makes the money is being fed by the money it makes. That is a different relationship with capital than putting it in a savings account at 0.01%. You check the revenue dashboard less than you used to, not because you stopped caring, because you stop needing to watch it to believe it works. The fourth rule of passive income. At $1,000 to $3,000 a month, the first real compounding begins. Not of money exactly, of systems. Each dollar reinvested into the machine builds the capacity that produces the next level. This is the stage most people stop at. Not because they fail, because it feels like enough, and enough is a comfortable place to stop building. The conversation with your manager is not dramatic. You are not quitting. You are not doing anything reckless, but you negotiate a 4-day week. You cite performance, which is real. You cite a personal project, which is also real. The 5th day comes back to you, 52 days a year, a full 2 months of time. At $5,000 a month in passive income, the math of your life has shifted enough that time is the actual resource, not money. You had a cost of living number. Your passive streams now cover roughly 60% of it. That 60% is the most important number you've produced in years, not because it changes what you own, because it changes what you're not required to do. You are not free. You are not claiming to be free, but you are less owned. There is a difference between someone who must work and someone who chooses to work, and that difference does not require total financial independence to become real. It requires a number. The number is different for everyone. For you, it was somewhere around here. You spend the 5th day on the business. Not the whole day, part of it. Part of it on nothing particularly productive. That feels important too. The 5th rule of passive income. At $3,000 to $8,000 a month, you are not living off passive income. You are living differently because of it. The freedom that arrives at this level is not financial freedom. It is the first option. The first time you have something real to trade instead of having no choice but to show up. The decision is not made impulsively. You have been running the numbers for 4 months, not obsessively, methodically. The passive income has been above $10,000 for 6 consecutive months. The variance has narrowed. The systems have stabilized. The floor is not fragile. You leave the job, not with a speech, not with ceremony. You give the standard notice. You finish what you said you'd finish, and then you stop going in. The commute that you did 1,100 times simply does not happen on a Tuesday in October. You are in your kitchen at 9 a.m. when it doesn't happen. The kitchen feels different at 9 a.m. On a Tuesday, quieter, more yours. The income comes from 3 directions now. The products, which are stable and older and require maintenance, not creation. The content operation, which has an audience and generates advertising and sponsorship revenue, and a licensing deal for a framework you built and now let others use for a monthly fee. Each of these runs on structure. The structure requires real work, but the work is yours to schedule. You are not rich. The $14,000 last month was before taxes. After taxes and reinvestment, it was comfortable, not exceptional. You live without the salary. You live well without it. The sixth rule of passive income. Crossing into full-time passive income is not a financial event. It is a temporal one. You did not gain money at this level. You regained your time. The money was always in service of that. The people who understand that early are the ones who build with purpose. The ones who chase the number lose sight of what the number was for. There is a staff meeting you are not attending. Somewhere right now, in an office building, in a conference room with a projector that someone is fussing with, there is a meeting you would have been in 3 years ago. Quarterly planning, someone's slides, someone's projections, someone's follow-up items that will produce more meetings. You are not there. You are in a different country. Not permanently. You are testing something. The income runs from a laptop. The laptop runs from anywhere with a connection. This is the version of the thing that the internet made available and that most people do not take because most people are not in the position to take it. You are in the position now. The income at this level requires management, not execution. You are not producing everything. You have contractors, an editor, a customer service person who handles the volume you cannot handle without it consuming you. You have built a team the way you built the infrastructure, carefully, piece by piece, only when the revenue justified the cost. At $35,000 a month, you are a small...
$35,000 a month? 35,000. Listen, I'm telling you, that's a beautiful number.
Business. The passive income framing starts to feel imprecise. It is not entirely passive. It runs without you showing up in the old sense. But it requires strategy, decisions, the judgment of someone who built it and understands how it works at a level no contractor can replicate. The meeting continues without you in a building you've never been to. The seventh rule of passive income. At $20,000, $50,000 a month, passive income becomes a business. The word passive describes the time structure, not the effort structure. You are not working less. You are working on different things. The shift is from execution to architecture, from doing the work to designing the system that does it. It is 9:14 a.m. on a Thursday. You are looking at a dashboard that took a long time to become ordinary. It is ordinary now. The number at the top is the revenue from the last 30 days. It is $87,000. You look at it for approximately 4 seconds. Then you close the tab and make coffee. This is the part nobody tells you. The number stops feeling like the number. At some point in the last year, $80,000 a month stopped producing a reaction and started producing a question. What is this for now? What comes next? What is the thing you actually want to build with the platform that this has become? The income has 6 distinct sources: products, content revenue, licensing, a small equity stake in a company you advise that is now paying quarterly distributions, real estate, a portfolio of dividend-paying assets that your accountant manages inside a structure you barely need to touch. Some of this is genuinely passive by any definition. Some of it is a business wearing the label. All of it runs on systems that took years to build. You have a meeting today. One meeting. You scheduled it yourself. You will leave when it's done. Nobody tells you when to arrive. Nobody owns the Tuesday. The 8th rule of passive income. At $100,000 a month, the conversation about passive income is over. Not because you've won something, because money has stopped being the primary question. The primary question is what you're building, why you're building it, and whether the thing you're spending your time on would still be worth doing if the income stopped tomorrow.
Well, brothers and sisters, my reason for showing you this is because I want you to see what is possible. And looking at some of the numbers, and I know I commented, 35,000, but as you look at this and see that, yes, it's possible that you, a member of Yah's family, in the covenant, yes, you could create something that would bring in $100,000 a month. I know to even hear me say that is like $100,000 a month. I don't even make that in a year. Well, I get it. I understand. But this is why you need to expand your thinking. It is written in scripture that you need to broaden the area of your tent and strengthen your cords. We have been thinking about scarcity because of the news. We've been thinking about lack and scarcity and, oh, it's going to get hard. As covenant-minded people, we need to begin to think about the blessings of the Most High and how to walk in abundance. So with that being the case, I just simply want you to embrace the mindset that, yes, it's not too late. It's not too late for me to experience more. It's not too late for me to have what I've always wanted. It's not too late. So don't give up. The Most High is definitely with you. And so, hey, with that being the case, I just simply want to say, you can do it. You can do it. Okay? Trust me, you can do it. There's lots of helps, even with, I know some people are thinking about AI, and yes, it's good, but you can make money with it. There's so many YouTube videos. You can find out how and how quick and easy it is. My brothers and sisters, there's opportunity. That's all I'm saying. This is the end of this segment, and we'll be right back.
That's a heart.
I'm looking for near-death experience videos where Muslims have passed away and came back and they confirm what they believe. All I'm finding is Muslims that have passed away and came back and confirmed Jesus. I've looked on YouTube, I've looked on Google, I've looked everywhere I could look. If y'all have a video where it confirms your faith, I would like...
You know, I've often wondered about this, about near-death experiences, and I've also wondered about, like, for instance, well, why doesn't anyone, like, really come back and say, look, here's the whole scoop of what's going on over there? It seems like it would make it much easier for us, right? Those of us that are here, to just get a real good feel for like, hey, okay, this is really what's going on, and here's the proof. And I've often wondered about this. So He's had a near-death experience, and he's saying that all I can see is where people come back and say, oh, I want to be a Christian. I want to be a Christian. Well, this is interesting to see because it's going to be a little different than what you might imagine.
To watch that video, just out of curiosity, I just want to have questions answered that's on my mind. But I've searched and I've looked, and all of them came back, and they're like, Jesus is Lord. Jesus is telling that He is the way, the truth, and the life. And they, even after being ridiculed by their family members, they end up choosing Christ, choosing to follow Christ.
Okay, and let me just say this. In my research back when I was doing spiritual field research, I came across some material that showed that in ancient Egypt, in Kemet, there were individuals who also had testimonies of seeing, of those deities appearing to them, of Asar and Aset appearing to them, and others, and just, it's like whoever you are worshiping, that's kind of like who you might see. But let's pay attention here. This is going to get interesting.
But it's so crazy how I can't find any near-death experience videos. So if you guys can find those videos, I would really love to watch it, because that's the biggest question I have. It's what happens after. But so comment it below.
These Christians kill me with I really just want to know the truth. But Jesus just keep on being right, because that's all I could find. I was looking online, and I looked through Google, and I looked through YouTube. I looked everywhere, and I didn't find nothing. I spent like 5 minutes on TikTok, and I found plenty of Muslim testimonies where they expressed whether it was near death, where they actually claimed to have died, or near death where they were in like a very traumatic accident, and they claim Allah, Muhammad, the whole shebang. If you're claiming that you looked everywhere and it took me 5 minutes, then that means you're lying. And here's the thing. In his comments, and I'm going to get to something in a minute, but in his comments, all he shows, all the people in there talking to me, they all just Muslims who convert over to Christianity. But they all just keep promoting one little video to make that claim.
Check out this witness testimony.
My name is Amir Barrow. I was born and raised in Dearborn, Michigan. Born Muslim, raised Muslim, proud Muslim. February 1st of 2020, my life changed forever. And it was the biggest miracle ever. I died. And how do I know I died? Because when you die, you feel everything 1,000,000 times more enhanced than you feel on earth. And right away, my soul told me, you're done, and you're going to hell for eternity. As soon as my soul told me that, right away, I screamed out the Shahada in Islam.
Now, I'm not going to burden you guys with his whole testimony. But did you notice, every time I was doing like this, what I was trying to get you to understand was listen to his accent. He was born in Dearborn, Michigan. He has a very American accent, doesn't he? But then as soon as you start says the word Muslim, or he starts saying, all of a sudden his whole dialect changed, didn't it? He's performing. It's a performance. When you was participating in Islam, you were performing. But you're born in Dearborn, Michigan. Although Dearborn, Michigan has a large Muslim community, you're still in America. You see churches on every corner. You watch TV, they always referring to the Christian God. Even in your little sitcoms and television shows, they're referring to the Christian God. Congress, Senate, they're always referring to the Christian God. The president, always Christian God. You are socially indoctrinated into Christianity in America. That when you had this near-death experience, and we're going to get to the reality of near-death experiences here in a minute, you create this whole imagery yourself, and you was all that fucking performance.
Hey, watch your mouth.
You got to a near death. You didn't die. You didn't die. Y'all always claiming death. They always claiming death. But I'm going to break down NDEs in just a minute. But since y'all can't, and that guy's all over the internet, so you can listen. If you want to listen to this whole thing, you can find this whole thing. But since they always claiming that, let's take a listen to this.
3 years ago, I was in ICU, and I was clinically dead. And this voice, this beautiful voice, came to me, and he said, said, voice, this beautiful voice, came to me as clinically dead.
A minute. But
I'm sorry, I gotta play this
again.
again.
That guy's all over the internet, so you can listen. If you want to listen to this whole thing, you can find this whole thing.
I'm playing this again because I'm trying to see if he said 3 years back or 30 years back.
But since they always claiming that, let's take a listen to this.
3 years ago.
Oh, 3 years ago.
I see you, and I was clinically dead. And this voice, this beautiful voice, came to me, and he said, I want you to go back and learn about Islam. I was clinically dead, and he sent me back and told me to learn about Islam. You know, I never knew about Islam, you know, Muslims. I thought they were a bunch of terrorists. I got a hold of Fahil, who called Yosef, and he came to my room, and I said the words, and I became Muslim. At that point, it made me feel so wonderful. It's like the weight of the world went out on me, and I've never felt so good after I said the words to be Muslim.
Well, you know, that's interesting because you see where a lot of people say, oh, you know, this person died, and, you know, when they came back, you know, they're like, oh, you know, or JC came to me, or, you know, I've heard a number of NDEs, near-death experiences, where some said that, you know, these demon-like things were after me, but when I prayed to God, you know, it's like, oh, I called God, you know, of course we understand the Most High. Then they said, then something happened. I was trying to find a NDE experience where someone said that they were praying and they prayed to Jesus and nothing happened, but then when they called on God, something did. And I've been trying to find that one. I can't seem to find, I don't know where that one is. I'll keep searching. But long story short, you have people that will swear that, of course, they saw Muhammad in hell. But wait a minute, what are you going to do about this, where you have a near-death experience where someone says that they were told to go into Islam, right? It's just one of those things that, of course, it's controversial. But for me, hey, I will stay with Yah all my days. All my days have already been allotted to be with the Most High, El Elyon, El Shaddai, Yah, Yah'ol, whatever you want to call him. Hey, I am for righteousness. I am for holiness. I am for the Most High. I'm for the word of the Most High, and there I shall remain. And so, hey, this has been this segment, and when we come back, we are going to do another segment.
Show how much you know. Upon learning I'm Malky Uriel. Let's get ready to play.
It's time for How Hebrew Are You?
Yep.
How Hebrew are you? Do I know about magic and sorcery in the Tanakh? Do I know about magic and sorcery in the Tanakh? Question number 1. Which practice does the Torah specifically prohibit alongside divination, omen reading, sorcery, and consulting the dead? Is it A, blowing the shofar at the new moon, or is it B, casting lots before Yah, or C, making agricultural offerings from first fruits, or D, passing one's son or daughter through the fire, or E, singing psalms before battle? This should be an easy one. And Brother Adrian is the first to weigh in with a D. Mr. Weeze, also a D. Christy Moody weighs in with a D. George Evans with a D. Michael Charles Marsh weighs in with a D. Gilly's in the house. Peace and blessings to you, Gilly, who also weighs in with a D. Anyone else going once, going twice? Our beloved elder, Christine Croning, weighs in with a D. Also, Ben Naphtali weighs in with a D. And the answer is... yes, the answer is D. Which practice does the Torah specifically prohibit alongside divination, omen reading, sorcery, and consulting the dead? The answer is D, passing one's son or daughter through the fire. Reference comes to us from Deuteronomy 18 verses 19 through 12, which read, When thou art come into the land which Yah thy Elohim giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of the nations. There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto Yah, and because of these abominations, Yah the Elohim does drive out them before you. Congratulations to everyone that did get a correct answer. Question number 2. Which Egyptian specialists attempted to imitate the signs performed through Moses and Aaron? Is it A, the priests of On, B, the magicians of Egypt, C, the prophets of Baal, D, the wise men of Babylon, or E, the diviners of Moab? Adrian was the first to weigh in with the B. Also, Mr. Weeze weighs in with the B. Peace and blessings to you. Our beloved Crystal Moody weighs in with the B. Michael Charles Marsh, B. George Evans, B. Ben Naphtali, B. Our beloved Elder Christine Croning, a B. Gilly, also a B. And Raymond Ratcliffe also says B. And the answer is... yes, the answer is B. Which Egyptian specialists attempted to imitate the signs performed through Moses and Aaron? Well, the correct answer is B, the magicians of Egypt. Reference comes to us from Exodus 7, verses 10 and 12, also Exodus 7 and 20 through 22, and Exodus 8, verses 6 through 7. Exodus 7 and 10 through 12 reads, "And Moshe and Aharon went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as Yahweh had commanded, and Aharon cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, now the magicians of Mitzrayim, they also did in like manner with their enchantments. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents, but Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods." Congratulations to everyone that did get a correct answer. Question number 3. During which plague did the Egyptian magicians finally confess, "This is the finger of Elohim"? Is it A, the plague of blood, or B, the plague of frogs, C, the plague of lice and gnats, or D, the plague of darkness, or E, the death of the firstborn? For question number 3, we have Brother Adrian being the first to weigh in with the C. Also, we have Gilbert St. John. We have Gilly weighing in with the C. We've got Mr. Weeze weighing in with an A. Our beloved Elder Christine Croning weighing in with the C. Michael Charles Marsh weighs in with the E. A lot of variation on this question. Ben Naphtali weighs in with an E. Our beloved Elder changes and says, oh, nope, it's E. Raymond Ratcliffe weighs in with an A, and George Evans says E. So for question number 3, what is the answer? The answer is C, the plague of lice and gnats. During which plague did the Egyptian magicians finally confess, "This is the finger of Elohim"? The correct answer is the plague of lice and gnats. Reference comes to us from Exodus 8, verses 16 through 19, which reads, "And Yah said unto Moshe, say unto Aharon, stretch out thy rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And they did so, for Aharon stretched out his hand with his rod and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beast. All the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there was lice upon man and upon beast. Verse 19, then the magicians said unto Pharaoh, this is the finger of Elohim. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them, as Yah had said. Congratulations to everyone that did get the correct answer. Final question, question number 4. Which king of Israel sought forbidden guidance from a woman who consulted the dead? This should be easy. Is it A, Solomon? Is it B, Jeroboam? Is it C, Ahab? Is it D, Shaul? Or is it E, Manasseh? For question number 4, this is interesting. Our brother Adrian is the first to weigh in with an A. Gilly weighs in with a D. Ben Naphtali weighs in with a D. Mr. Weeze weighs in with an A. Our beloved Crystal Moody weighs in with a D. Raymond Radcliffe weighs in with a E. Brother Adrian weighs in with a D. George Evans, D. Michael Charles Marsh, A. Our beloved Elder weighs in with an A. And then our brother Michael Charles Marsh says, no, it's a D, it's D. And so Mr. Weeze also says, no, it's D for Shaul. And so let's answer the question. What is the answer? Yes, you are correct. It is D. Which king of Israel sought forbidden guidance from a woman who consulted the dead? The correct answer is D for Shaul. Reference comes to us from 1 Samuel 28 and 8. And Shaul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him, and they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee. Congratulations to everyone that did receive, yes, that did get all answers correct. Now, my question is, who got correct? Who got them all correct? Who got them all correct? It's been a while since I gave away a book, and I do want to give away one of my books. So let me share with you the books that I have. I want to give one of these away. The only thing is, who was the first to have all correct answers? Who was the first? Let me just go back here and see if I can find The first person to have all the answers. Okay, so for question number 4, it was Brother Adrian, who was the first with that one. Also for question number 3, okay, it was our Brother Adrian. For question number 2, looks like it was Brother Adrian as well. Oh boy, am I detecting a pattern? For the first question, it looks like it was also Brother Adrian. Okay, I need you to testify to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Brother Adrian, were you the first to have all the correct answers? If so, I would like to, and someone else, right? So those of you who did get them all correct, who got them all correct? Let's see here. I'm not sure who got them all correct, but I'm trying to give out a free book here. I'm trying to give out a free book. Well, listen. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. These are the books that I have written that I would like to... I'm going to give you them in order of me writing them. This is the Hebrew alphabet, the memorization course that you saw the commercial for. I was patenting the technique that I used for this, but this gives you all of the 22 Paleo Hebrew and Hebrew alphabet. You'll memorize each Hebrew letter, the numerical number that it represents, the Paleo Hebrew that it represents, and also the number of commandments 1 through 10 that it also represents. Okay? Just by this system, I can tell you, number 3, that's you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. I mean, I could give them all to you, 6, 7, but hey, it's because of this particular system which I take you through. The second book that I wrote is the Hebrew alphabet for life and business. This taps into the energy of the Hebrew alphabet with the understanding that all of creation comes to us by means of vibration through the pronunciation of the Hebrew alphabet. And this gives you, this is actually not a bad book at all, even if I must say so. It gives you over 150 life actions and business actions for you to, incorporate into your life, right? And I'm only mentioning these only because I want you all to pick one, whoever got the right answers. And of course, the last one that I wrote is African Hebrews in America, an ontological observation, which is perhaps the more scholarly work that I have done. With that being the case, I need you to, weigh in and let me know. Give it to a guess. I knew you were going to say that, Brother Adrian, because you are such a kind heart, my brother. Our Brother Adrian, the Minister of Economics, he has such a good heart. And I really do commend you, Brother Adrian. I praise the Most High for you. And I could have told someone that you would say this. So I have to choose a guest to give this to. So who is the newest comer of our guests? I believe it to be, if I recall correctly, our beloved Crystal Moody is one of the last of our newcomers to become a regular. And so with that being the case, I'm thinking, are we all in agreement here? I think it's Crystal Moody, unless someone else can kind of like, I don't know, tell me differently. Okay, so what are we saying here? I think it is. Oh, our beloved elder she says, I will pay for a signed copy of the Hebrew. I think that, I'm not sure which book you're referring to. Is it the one about African Hebrews in America, or is it the one about the Hebrew alphabet for life and business? Thank you, Mr. Wees. Mr. Wees says, sounds good to me. Okay, our beloved elder, let me know which one you want. You know, I'm not going to let you pay for anything. Okay? I'm not going to let you pay for anything. Love you dearly. Love you dearly. I'm not going to let you pay for nothing. So, so just clarify the one that you want. Okay? And I will have it to you. Also, Crystal Moody, let me know which one you want. Okay? Again, the most recent that I've written, African Hebrews in America, more scholarly. The Hebrew alphabet for life and business. And then, of course, there is the Hebrew alphabet memorization course. So, all right, Elder, you got it. You got it. You said life and business. Okay, you got it. And Crystal, you're going to have to let me know which one you want as well. And here's what I need both of you to do, beloved Elder, if you can. And also, Crystal, please give me your email address. Email me and let me know. Okay, let me know what your email address is, and I will send both of you a copy of the book. Let me know, Crystal, which one you want. And yeah, we'll definitely make it happen. All right, peace and blessings to you, fam. All right, let's continue with our next segment. The next segment coming up in just a few minutes. Well, it's time for the Scholar Spotlight, and I thought I would highlight our own scholar, yes, our own Moreh Yeshaya, Torah Lessons, and I thought I'd highlight him because he is our brother, and I wanted to let you know that I appreciate him as a brother and as a fellow Moreh, and so I'm glad to be able to, to assist, but this is our Moreh, our brother. Okay, our brother Yeshaya. And let me...
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Giving honor unto the Most High, the Creator, the Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshaya Yisrael of the tribe of Dan of the house of Israel. This is not going to be long, but we just want to, brothers and sisters, talk about the current matter of of the Hebrew classes that will be starting in September. It is for anyone who cares to participate. Within the description will be the contact info, my number, my email, and how to acquire the book that is necessary for the class. There's more than one Hebrew book written. Nonetheless, this is the one that will be needed for the class. Hebrew is Easy, Volume 1. Hebrew Basics from Aleph to Shema. Within this book here, you would sit there and see that what is referred to or called Ancient Hebrew, said by some as Paleo-Hebrew, is there. And the table of contents is as follows. An introduction, the alphabet and the vowels, simple rules of Hebrew, simple understanding of masculine nouns, simple understanding of the qual stem. Then there's a conclusion and bibliography and so forth. This is the back of this book. You can get this book on Amazon.com.
Okay, notice the number 908-587-4841. That's volume 1 of Hebrew is Easy. There's the email address as well as the phone number 908-587-4841.
Or you can get the book directly from me if you want to. Again, the information will be put inside of the description. The Hebrew classes will be 2 nights a week. Tuesday night, Thursday night. Tuesday night, Thursday night. The people who will be participating in the class, I refuse to call you a student because most of us are all grown men. Most of us are all grown adults, males and females alike. So I call the people participants, not students. That's just one of my things. Nonetheless, brothers and sisters, one will need the aspect of WhatsApp. One will need WhatsApp or Messenger. Messenger is a service that is provided by Facebook. It will be done live. And the classes will be 20 minutes each. There will be one student or one household. So if there's one person in the house, that will be for that person. If there's 4 people in the house and they all want to be participants, then there will be that. But each of them will be no longer than 20 minutes. Again, one will have to go online on Amazon and get this. Hebrew is Easy, Volume 1. A link will be put within the description. So one, again, will have to have, brothers and sisters, Messenger, which is a service provided by Facebook, or they will have to have a WhatsApp to be able to do the class live. We're not going to do it by Skype, and we're not going to do it by other means. Again, check the description for the information. The classes are free of charge. Donations are accepted, but the only thing that is mandatory is that one gets this book online. Again, if one wants to get this book from me directly, you can contact me by reading the description and the information in the description, and we can move on from that point. Anisas me'od la'asot et ha'kitot ha'eleh. Toda rabah ki ata. Toda rabah ki at. Loquakten. Et ha'pa'am lishmoa li. Yom tov lekem shabua tov. Nedaber akarekem. Shalom.
Okay, so that is our scholar, our own brother, and yeah, we appreciate him and the fact that he's offering Hebrew lessons. And I wanted to feature him as our scholar for the week. I do appreciate my brother, and again, his information. I appreciate him and what he does and his scholarly pursuits, and I'm glad to be connected with such an astute brother. So, and I appreciate him. He's given us accolades as well, but I do appreciate him for his work, and I'm trying to help him because, I would want a brother to do the same for me if I had a Hebrew course or so forth and so on. Well, that being the case, we're getting ready to go into our last segment. It's time to eat, y'all. It's time for Moshe in your kitchen.
At this point in time, you might as well refer to me as the comfort food queen, because tonight I'm going to show you how to make a delicious, but most importantly, quick and easy using basic ingredients, a Southern style stewed chicken recipe that's going to be absolutely divine. We have our boneless chicken thighs. We're going to be using dark meat for this recipe. However, if you want to use white meat, you definitely can. If you want to get a whole chicken, if you want to save some, dollars and coins and stuff, get that whole chicken, cut that chicken up into parts, and use that as well. First thing
Now, to me, she looked like she can cook, y'all.
want to add is some oil, right? We're going to add a good amount of oil. Let's go ahead.
And see, that's a trick I just learned, y'all. Putting olive oil on your meat before you cook it. It helps the seasonings to stick, and it helps the seasonings to soak in.
And add some salt and ground black pepper. We're going to try our best not to over-season by using minimal salt or no salted products. We're going to add some garlic powder. This is 7.
I like how they use them cute little glass bowls for all their seasonings. I mean, next time I cook, I want to get some of those.
Deboned chicken thighs, along with onion powder. Everything is already pre-measured. For a nice smoky element of flavor, let's add some smoked paprika.
Bought some of that last week. It's really good.
Chicken bouillon, of course, to boost the flavor. Keep in mind, chicken bouillon is high in sodium, so we're not going to add too much.
I've never added chicken bouillon to chicken, but I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Let's also add some Cajun seasoning for our Southern style stewed chicken, all right?
Gonna give it a twang, y'all. Gonna get a little bite, a little kick up in it.
Now, here's the thing. If you have Creole seasoning on hand, you could definitely use Creole seasoning. The reason why I'm adding as much as I'm adding is not because I have certain pieces of chicken in this bowl, but it's simply because this is a no sodium product. The Cajun seasoning that I'm using could be found at cookingwithtammy.shop. No sodium whatsoever. Let's also...
I like the fact that she's sodium conscious. She is like, look, let's not raise anybody's blood pressure.
Add some of my all-purpose Cooking with Tammy chicken seasoning. After all, it is chicken, all right? It goes good with just about everything, including veggies as well. All right, gonna add a good amount. And it's about that time. Let's get down and dirty.
Oh, I gotta add a point. She's got them gloves on. I love it.
We're gonna combine all of the seasoning onto the chicken. Make sure every part of the chicken has seasoning.
Yep.
Your chicken pieces should look just like this. This is the representation of what perfectly seasoned is. Front.
Okay, okay. I get it.
And back. Without being salty. Now here's the thing. You could decide to cover this down with saran wrap and place it into the refrigerator and allow it to be pre-seasoned overnight. Or you can simply pull out your cast iron skillet or even your Dutch oven or a heavy-duty stainless steel pan and start the cooking process, which is what we're gonna do. I don't have that time, so I'm not gonna pre-season the chicken and allow it to sit out for 30 minutes to 24 hours. Nah. The way how we season this chicken is still gonna be delicious regardless.
I believe you.
All right, so our Dutch oven, we're gonna add some oil. Not gonna add too much oil, just enough to get
What kind of Earl, though? You didn't tell us what kind of Earl you're using.
the party started. And we're gonna go in with our chicken pieces. I'm gonna start off with face side down. Hopefully this large size skillet will be able to hold all of our chicken pieces. If not, we just have to work and brown it up in batches. We're not cooking the chicken all the way through. However, we are browning the chicken. We're gonna brown the chicken for about approximately 2 to 3 minutes on each side before flipping it over. We're gonna remove all of the remaining pieces from the pan and add it to our bowl. Check this
I mean, that looked like you could bite down on it already.
on out. This is gorgeous. Now here.
It is gorgeous, but you can tell a foodie, you know, by the way they talk about food. This is gorgeous.
Here's the thing. I gotta be honest with you. This chicken was cooked all the way through. I don't think we'll have a continuous video because the chicken being seasoned like this alone, right? You don't even need to smother it. I can guarantee you the taste of this chicken is gonna be, when I tell you delicious, take it from me, okay? It smells so good. Now, as you can see, we have a lot of beautification going on at the bottom of this pan.
See, you can tell a foodie. We have beautification going on at the bottom of this pan.
If it's one thing I like about smoked paprika, is the color element that it leaves.
And if that was AB, he would say, oh, she, look at that. She got that flavor. She, you got that flavor. All that flavor right there. See, all that right there, see, that's flavor.
Leaves you with, right? Whenever you're cooking, whatever it is that you're cooking, once you use that ingredient, not only is that nice smoky aroma a turn on, if you will, right?
A turn on? What? Hey.
But it just leaves that beautiful color. So with that being said, I know my onions, once we start to saute our onions and add our other veggies, and once the flavor...
I know she ain't gonna do what I think she gonna do. If she put them onions in that grease from the chicken with the seasonings, I know she ain't gonna do that.
Flavors and the color starts to hug these veggies. Oh, it's gonna be everything. All right, to this pan. Trying to allow it a little time to cool down. We're gonna add our butter.
Okay. All right. Stop the press. Hold the phone. Oh, no, you didn't put butter in there. Oh, no, you didn't.
Allow the butter to melt. Once the butter is melted, let's add our onions.
See, that is just reckless right there. That is just, I mean, that is going to be so good once the onions saute and all of that flavor. Oh, my goodness.
And as you can see, these are sliced onions. Plus a ramekin. That's what the recipe list calls for. Sliced onions and a ramekin coming right up. All right, we're gonna, just as I mentioned before, we're gonna cook our onions down until they become slightly translucent. And once they start to break down, as you can see, they're starting to pick up all of those beautiful flavors and colors. In the meanwhile, let's add our bell peppers as well.
Oh my.
I'm going to be using green bell peppers along with red bell peppers. However, feel free to use whatever you have on hand. If you only have a red bell pepper, or let's say maybe even an orange or yellow bell pepper, feel comfortable enough to use that as well. It's not going to spoil the recipe. Stir it on up. We're going to cook the veggies down until the bell peppers become slightly softened as well. And you know what? It seems like something is missing. Celery, get over here. Let's add our diced celery.
Okay.
Compliments of hubby for dicing up the celery perfectly.
And I know she has regular onions, but you know what? It seemed like some shallots should be in there. I mean, it seemed like that would just make it so much better.
All right, about 2 to 3 minutes on the veggies. I'm cooking on a medium flame. Add some finely chopped garlic.
Okay, adding the garlic, good.
Get that all incorporated as well. Cook the garlic for about 1 minute or until it becomes fragrant, whichever happens first. All-purpose flour is going to go in. And the all-purpose flour is going to work as a thickening agent for our gravy. I want a nice gravy, yes, but I don't want it to be too thick to the point where I have to add a lot of liquid or stock. Chicken broth coming right up.
Oh, chicken broth on top. Oh my goodness.
And into the pan. Once the deglazing process starts to take place, the bottom of the pan is going to be smooth all over again. You don't have to worry about anything. Once you consistently stir it, it's not going to burn, so no worries whatsoever. And in the meanwhile, let's add some Italian seasoning.
Okay.
I'm going to give it about 5 minutes to start thickening up, and once that
I got to add 1/10 of a point for the Italian seasoning.
happens, we're going to add our chicken. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to serve this delicious Southern-style stewed chicken up with white rice. The gravy is starting to thicken up, which is what we're trying to achieve. So with that being said, it's time for us to add our chicken back to the pan.
See, serving that over rice is just unfair.
Submerge it. Make sure it's coated in our beautiful gravy. And all reserved juices go in as well.
It just seems like she should have put more flour in there to thicken it, you know, or maybe that was cornstarch. No, she said it was flour.
A little stir to make sure the reserved juices combine perfectly with the gravy. All right. And I am going to lower the flame. I'm going to cover it down. Because this is boneless chicken thighs, right? If it's bone in, you cook for a little longer. However, it is boneless, so we're going to be cooking it for, I want to say, approximately 20 to 30 minutes. Now, here's the thing. During the last 20 minutes of the cooking process is when we're going to add our potatoes and carrots.
Oh,
during the
no,
last
you're
20
not.
minutes. But for now,
You are not adding potatoes and carrots to that.
we're going to lower the flame, cover it down with the lid, and allow it to continue cooking. It's been about 20-25 minutes so far. And I went ahead and checked on the chicken, and I realized it was starting to get tender, just where we wanted it to be. All right? So with that being said, let's add our potatoes and carrots. We're going to push the potatoes down into the
Please keep in mind, anytime you add potatoes like this, it's going to take away from some of the seasoning. So, you know, you do need to season it real well.
gravy. At this point in time, we're going to lower our flame to low medium or even low heat and allow the potatoes to cook until they become fork tender. Perfect. We're going to cover it back down. It's about 30-35 minutes in total, and I'm super excited because my kitchen smells awesome. And that's one of the main reasons, along with another reason, which I'm going to
Oh boy, she got the plate of rice on the side. She ready, y'all.
share with you in a second. But for now, take a good look
It does look good. That looks very good.
at this Southern style stewed chicken, baby. This looks amazing.
I mean, foodies always get excited by the look, by the way food looks, but I will admit it does look good.
So much so I can't wait to dig in. Ooh, my goodness. All right. We have chicken. We have beautiful potatoes. And we have carrots as well. Wow.
Oh, man.
Look at this beautiful piece of chicken.
Oh.
All right. You can see that the chicken is breaking apart. I'm not even like manipulating it at this point, and it's just literally breaking apart. I am a gravy girl. Okay. Now here's the thing. I'm using a slotted spoon, as you see, right? And you notice that the gravy is not really falling through as much, simply because we have a perfectly thick consistency. Hearty gravy is what I would love to call it. Going on. We're going to take this bite together. Okay, I'm taking it for
No, we ain't taking a bite together. You didn't give me none.
myself and you as well.
Okay, so now here's what I'm wondering. Why did it break and go to a different shot when she first put it in her mouth? I'm just saying, why did that happen? Listen, if someone tastes some of my food, I'm looking them all up in their face to see exactly, what they really think of it. So I want to see that again.
Going on. We're going to take this bite together. Okay, I'm taking it for myself and you as well.
No, that still ain't fair.
Let me tell you, delicious, smoky flavor. Delicious all around. The potatoes perfectly cooked. I'm not even going to touch bases on the chicken yet, right? The gravy is just amazing. You have that delicious Cajun flavor with that little
rice and gravy is kind of like my kryptonite. So, man, rice and gravy. So I know that that's good.
Smoky flair going on. Oh, man. Not to mention the chicken. Absolutely tender, delicious, all of the flavors. Even though we didn't marinate the chicken has all of the flavors locked in because it was perfectly seasoned. Just look at this. When you look at this, breaking apart. Listen, my loves, definitely give this recipe a try. Not only is it budget friendly, but it's absolutely delicious. Anybody, when I tell you anybody, is going to love this dish. It doesn't matter whether or not, if they're always complaining, they don't like to eat, they're going to probably take the whole pot home, for real, if they don't live with you. This is absolutely delicious.
It looks very, very good, and I think I want some.
Anyway, my loves, before we go, don't forget to get your seasonings at cookingwithtammy.shop. Of course, for this particular dish, I use my all-purpose chicken seasoning along with my no-sodium Cajun seasoning, of course. And when I tell you, these seasonings bring out nothing but the best flavor. It really does. Now, here's the thing behind the scenes, because I wanted this dish to be somewhat authentic, and I didn't want to turn you guys off because not everybody loves spice. But nevertheless, behind the cameras, I added my other seasoning, which is my all-purpose chicken seasoning as well. This is the spicy edition, and it gave it that little hint of heat. Woo! Everything tied in perfectly. This dish, if I had to rate it, and it's not because I made it, obviously, but if I had to rate it, 10 out of 10, definitely a 10. So well worth it. Man, listen, give this recipe a try, like I said. Another thing, before we go, yeah, I'm keeping you back. I'm sorry, but I got a lot to say, all right? I started selling my candles. I'm going to list them on cookingwithtammy.shop as well. These candles are
Okay, I have no idea why we kept losing sound, but I don't know if you caught what I said, but anyway, I commend our sister. I just said that I would have easily wanted that she brought in the candles. I would have said that, she needs to bring in, she should have made a plate, maybe she could have made a plate and set it down, for appearances. And then, of course, you see the candles, and then she say, hey, by the way, these candles, you can get these candles. I made these candles, and kind of tie it in that way. I do give her, 13 points for the food. I'm going to bump it up to 15 because that's her real hair. And I just want to say that, man, I think that she did a wonderful job. Keep it going, my sister. I'm going to visit her shop. I'm going to see if I can, I don't know. I kind of like that sodium-free seasonings. I'm going to see if I can get some of those. But hey, peace and blessings. Listen. Thank you very much for being with us. Once again, I thank you for those two precious gifts that you always give me, which is your time and your attention. I'm your more for this channel, Melky Uriel, and you know what? I thank you for being with us, family. I thank you for each and every one of you that are watching us. We have far more watching us than are in the chat room. If you're watching us and you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. There's 0 calories involved. You won't gain a single calorie. Go ahead and hit that button. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, okay? And even, listen, some of the teachings you can even, you can share some of our videos. That would absolutely be wonderful if you would like to. And the person, Brother Adrian is asking, so the person that we just saw, her name is Cooking with Tammy. You can go to Cooking with Tammy. Man, she has 803 subscribers. Wow, nice. And so, with that being the case, she's got cookingwithtammy.shop. So that, I believe, is where we can get some of her items. Cooking with Tammy, TAMMY.shop. And she's also got some other links. I'm pretty sure that they're all interlinked together, so you can feel free to get that. Man, she's got some good looking dishes on here. So if they don't get me for copyright, we will definitely use some of her material. I mean, she's got some beautiful looking dishes on here. I do see one that looks like, oh my goodness, I see 2 that violates our laws. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. We go by the dietary laws. So hey, nonetheless, I will check out her seasoning. So, all right, my brothers and sisters, hey, peace and blessings to you. May the Most High bless you. May He keep you. May your week be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. Hey, just take a chill pill. Enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. Enjoy your food, your family, and spending time with the Most High. This is the time to do exactly that. That's what I'm going to do. I've got some jerk chicken waiting on me right now. Some jerk chicken, some red beans and rice, and some cabbage. And I am going to thoroughly enjoy. Yum, 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 yum. So peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Love you all. Hey, we will see you for our midweek, which is on Yom Ravi'i, what many call Wednesdays. And of course, hey, we know that we're going to have a wonderful time there. On last week, Wednesday, I hope that everything worked out well. We did a lesson regarding God logic and how he got it wrong in saying that there is the Trinity in the, quote unquote, Old Testament. All right, my brothers and sisters, love you. And hey, y'all willing, we will see you. We will see you soon. I love you all. Peace and blessings. Before I go, I'm just going to check that. Yeah, there you go. Thank you for putting up the... thank you for putting up the Hatanak. Yeah, thank you for putting up those videos, my brother. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, my brother. Bergen Paris, appreciate you. All right, peace and blessings to you. I'm out. Love you all. Shabbat shalom.